Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday here on the Rad Company Podcast YouTube channel. We got the full crew in here. I'm Dane, your host. To my left, we've got Anthony back in the chairs. That's right.
Thank you, Dane.
His back is treating him well enough for him to sit for, well, we'll find out how long. And to his left, Levi Gates.
My beard's all curly.
Oh, look at that. You got the
is.
curly beard. All right. So for those who are new to this show, who haven't seen it before, this is Q&A Thursday. This is where we answer your detailing and car-related questions, that sort of thing. It's a chance to kind of chill, hang out, and have a little fun as well. So it really is just like hanging out with your friends, and maybe somebody happens to be pretty knowledgeable about detailing. We can cover you on that front. If you had questions, that's what this is for. So if you know anybody who doesn't understand how detailing works but wants to get into it, tell them about the show. Have them come over. And while you're at it, click that like button. We'd really appreciate it. Now, apart from that, housekeeping. What's going on, fellas?
Well, Dane, thanks for asking. Yeah, so this week is what's that called in college when you're like
It's like rush week.
like finals week? It's the week before finals week. What's
It's
that
like
called?
crunch time.
No, there's a word for it. It's called something week.
Dead week.
That's what it is.
There it is.
I mean, Nick went to college, so
And the rest of us didn't. So
I mean, I tried going to college, 4 different colleges. It just never.
I did go to college. I did graduate with a degree, so that's good.
That's
But Nick, Nick's got it. So Dead Week. That's kind of what it is this week, because next week we have Obsessed Garage coming into town. Matt's going to be here with his team. I believe they're going to start on Tuesday morning. They fly in on Monday, and it's going to be pretty crazy, right? 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. of completely revamping.
Sounds like they're starting right now.
TRC Media Studio. So right now we actually have some fresh epoxy going in right now in a certain area of the studio. We have some things getting cut, certain piping, plumbing.
There's a Dremel or something
everything getting
going on
done.
behind
And
me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I cannot freaking wait until this is done.
it's been
Months.
it's been it's been
Months.
since literally
been a
we
minute.
ended
been a
TRCMA.
while.
Yeah, like this
I mean,
studio.
realistically,
The studio's in shambles, and I think we're ready to get back to some normalcy. And I think that us having the studio in a functioning spot is going to be awesome. And so whether
the
it's
Dremel
for
is also agreeing with you.
the Dremel, yeah, there
It's
is.
saying,
Help me. I don't think they can hear that over the mics, but no. So it has been pretty crazy. We're excited to be done with it. We're excited to kind of get this. I mean, chapter over with. But we're also excited to see the process and see how everything's going to come together. So next week, no Q&A, right?
that was kind of the plan with Matt and those guys coming in. We just felt like we want to make sure we dedicate the time to our guests, and there's going to be a lot of work going on out there. So I would say don't expect a normal like Q&A Thursday like this. It's going to be an off week next week. We may end up doing something, say, even weirdly on a weekend. So you may potentially see something pop up on Saturday or something like that.
You know one thing they can do? Those that are
What's
local,
that?
or hey, maybe you want to plan a road trip. Maybe you want to take Friday off and you want to head to Boise, Idaho to MVP Detail Supply. You can check out the events page here at theradcompany.com. And we've got Matt in the store for a meet and greet.
I actually think, you know what, I do need to post up that banner. I think I'm going to post that up on Instagram so people can see.
Nick, can you click on the banner for the meet and greet?
Gotta know.
So people can see it. So there you go. August 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., MVP Detail Supply. You can head on over. We're going to have donuts and coffee, and you can hang out with Matt and the team and say hello and what's up. So we're going to be doing that. So maybe that's something they want to do. If they can't get their fix for Q&A Thursday, they just drive. I'm not asking you guys much. Just take a day off and drive to Boise.
It's enough time for Hans Closen to get here.
Exactly.
It is.
And steal a bunch of TRC merchandise as well as other random trinkets. I mean, here's the deal. He's going to probably steal the shoes off my feet, sell them online.
Somebody
for
better
a decent amount
bolt
of money.
Tommy down. Otherwise, he might be, abducted or something. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Just in case.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it as far as catching up on that. August is here. August is here. So we have a full month of hopefully, some more summer heat, and then what we're looking forward to detailing weather, September, right?
It'll be nice.
October,
I'm
it's gonna
excited
start
too.
cooling down.
Automechanika first week of September.
Yep.
So get
cool
over
it off
there.
a little bit. Head off to Germany.
Yep. And
Have a good time.
I cannot wait to wash a car again.
Yeah, well,
can't wait.
when was the last time you truly detailed a car? How
gonna
long?
be
How
a
many
fun day
days?
when
How many
we-
months has it
Could we
been?
live stream
Like-
Anthony back in action? Like, just go live from his phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys,
I think
Here we go.
that's
First
that's
day
a
back.
doable thing. I would like to see that.
What I'm trying to think of what to answer your question, Dane. What's a detail? I mean, is it just a wash?
Well,
Are
that's
you
what I'm
asking
saying.
that?
So washing, but then going a little above and beyond. You're putting on some kind of protectant at the end. You're maybe working
no,
on
I
the wheels
think
and
it's
tires.
just. I think we
something
get him into
extra.
washing. I think I bring over my pole and my
No.
brush.
We're talking about when the last time he did what we would consider
Oh, I thought you
more
meant like
than
a
just a
first
car
time.
wash, not just rinsing
Yeah.
it off. Something more substantial, something that maybe a casual observer could go, "Oh, you kind of detailed that car."
Dude, it was probably like March.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
literally, I haven't. I mean, I washed a car. What did I do before my surgery? At some point, I think it was like the week before my surgery. Actually, like I said, F it. I don't care how much pain I'm in. I cannot go in. I can't. No matter what happens in the surgery, I cannot come out of it with a dirty. I need to have something cleaned, right? So I remember I went out there. It was one of the worst washes of my entire life. And I washed my Civic, and I was almost in tears, trying to wash it. My neighbors come out.
Oh, boy.
And the neighbor kid, his name's Maverick. He loves me, and he goes, Anthony, and he's yelling down the street. I'm like, Maverick, don't come over here.
He's just a little guy,
He's
right?
just a little guy, but he loves coming and talking to me and asking questions and stuff
Okay.
like that. I'm trying to get this wash done in like 13 minutes, right? And he's coming over, Anthony, come look at this. I'm like, Maverick, I cannot stand. I cannot sit. I am trying to literally rush through this in any way I can and just get it done. But I still gave him some time to talk to him. But that was pretty much the last time was that, and it was in horrible pain. So, but I think here pretty soon, I think like realistically, I think I probably could go wash a car now. It would be the bucket system that I would have to figure out, right?
Sure.
Like how do you move 5-gallon bucket full of water, even if there's 3 gallons in it, you're looking at, what's that, 30 pounds,
Yeah.
right? It's about 10 pounds a gallon, right? 8 pounds.
Where are you at in terms of being able to pick stuff up, like weight-wise? What's your comfortable, I can pick it up
This
weight?
is what I don't really get. I mean, I don't really get about this. This is about medicine. It's like, hey, you're limited to 10 pounds for the first 6 weeks,
Okay.
and then there's no limits.
Oh,
So then
yeah,
you go.
there's just
then you go.
the
So
floodgates
wait.
are
So
open.
you're saying I can't lift anything more than 10 pounds for 6 weeks, and then I could deadlift 220? Like, what are you trying? What's the?
Well,
magic.
so when I had a hernia operation,
Yeah.
they were like, just so you know, you can't lift a paper cup. You can't lift anything. Like, you are completely reset to zero, and then you are going to have to work back up to that. And I remember, like, it was weird
that's rough.
not being able to, like, hold a jug of water or pull a gallon of milk out or something out of the fridge and go, oh my gosh, this is way too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
I could see it. They're trying to get stuff
I
tied
mean,
back
The
together.
thing is, I mean, you think about it. There's like how many discs you have in your back? You have a ton of discs in your back, right? Everything's equally absorbed. So really, the only way that I'm really going to be able to do some damage is if I were to bend over, lift something heavy, and possibly twist or like move my body in a
Yeah.
weird. That's
Sure.
really the only way something bad would probably happen. With that said, though, it is interesting because my back muscles are so sore and still recovering that when I go to pick something up, even if it is 8 pounds, right? I pick it up and hold it, and I go, I can feel that in my back. You know what I mean? Like the extra just weight of holding whatever it is, you just kind of feel it. And I was just
spooky.
telling these guys that I did the last couple of days. I did 7,000 steps. On Sunday, I did 12,000 steps, and which last week was 4,000, right? And the previous week was, I don't know, a couple thousand. So it's like everything's incrementally going up, and I'm able to stand for longer, sit for longer, and I'm having less time on my back. So like really, like even just going over here and laying on the couch, that was like an 8-hour a day thing,
Yeah.
right? Now it's 5 minutes, a couple times a day, which
Not
I'm
so
like,
bad.
I'll take that. So really excited to get back in the game. Really excited to get some cars washed and obviously to produce some videos. We'll see what Matt wants to do next week in terms of anything like that. But realistically, the good news is that our outdoor wash bay is occupied. Our indoor wash bay is taken up. So if we were to go wash something, we'd probably have to go to Gabe's house and make a mess.
I'm gonna pose something to the audience. Anthony has told me no every time I brought this
the
up,
answer
but
is no.
I wanna throw it out
The
to you
answer
guys.
is no.
What would you say? Because there's a video out there of Anthony helping Matt wash his graphite gray Evo in his garage down in Florida. How fun would it be to see Anthony and Matt try to wash, or detail rather, his graphite gray Evo in his garage. Maybe he needs a little help. Maybe Matt can pick up the slack where Anthony's not able to do all the heavy lifting.
The
so
deal
to speak.
was Anthony, help me wash my beater, right? It's his beater car.
Sure, but the Evo, that's the connection.
No,
you guys both have
Anthony's
a
beater
shared
is
our
connection
connections are mental issues, right? I mean,
there's that too.
but he wanted me to wash his beater with him. I will gladly wash my beater with him, right? I actually have two.
I mean, the Ram.
Matt, I got a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500, 5.2 318 Magnum, single stage paint.
No.
Used to be a forest truck, and realistically, it's pretty clean, right? Minus the rust spots, a couple of
It's
those.
clean if you don't look at it.
Yeah, and then your other option, Matt, 1999 Honda Civic EX in Milano red.
But he might actually like washing that.
I was gonna say that
he
one.
but he might nitpick it.
That one is an Instagram.
He might go, "Why is it not
special.
repainted fully?"
Why is it not? Why is it a couple different shades of red? And why did the dents not get pulled out when you repainted them? And
Meanwhile-
there's gonna be a lot of questions.
Meanwhile, that Evo is dusty, dirty, whatever's going on with it, but it's a beautiful car. It is in great shape. He probably just wants to see it just out of curiosity to compare
Nah, he's not
to his
interested.
Evo.
No.
Even if he doesn't say it, I bet he's thinking just a little bit
Listen.
like, I wonder if Anthony's is cleaner than mine.
Listen, I would even
Let's solve
I
that.
would even meet you in the middle, Dane, where I'd say, hey, maybe it doesn't wash my beater. I happen to have another middle ground car, right? Which is
Yeah.
a 2005 Acura RSX Type S.
I do love that car. That is a
and
great car.
I think it's pretty clean. I mean, for what it is, and I think that could also be a car. I want to see him wash something with VTEC. I mean, that's where Matt's heart truly lies.
Perhaps my VEC is more in the order of expectation.
So,
I'm saying
I got
they
a
should
question
do the
though.
Evo.
This popped in my head. I need
Yeah.
to get it out.
Yeah.
Have you thought about parking your cars diagonally? Not diagonally, but if you've got them parked vertically,
yeah.
could you park them horizontally in your bay
Oh.
and get maybe all three in and the motorcycles
And the motorcycles.
in that bay, in the two bays?
Play a
Because you have a
little
bit of an extra gap. between the
45-degree
two bays.
Jenga.
Well, you back them. Here's the key, Dane. You back them all in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you will have to get out of the passenger side
Right.
or something. Of each
y-
vehicle.
I would never do that.
Climb
ever.
out of the sunroof.
I would never ever do that. But you know who would do that?
Gabe.
Garcia.
Gabe
Gabe
would do
Garcia would crawl out of a sunroof if that meant that he can fit every single thing that he owned in that garage,
Well, he
right?
has to. It's the HOA. He doesn't
The
wanna upset
HOA.
the
I mean, it is
Yes.
pure comedy because
Can't
that
park in his
garage is
driveway.
massive anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're way off base here. You guys are probably expecting
How would
some
you park
detailing
your
questions.
vehicles in your garage?
Yes, tell us your insane parking arrangements. We want to hear them. So, from that, let's get to the questions, huh? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm starting off things with a classic from Dan Pfeiffer here. Anthony, please read Dan's comment.
Good afternoon and word up from Minnesota, USA. It's that time again, folks. Happy Friday Eve. I hope the entire TRC gang is doing well.
Oh,
are.
thanks, Dan.
And
we
thank
appreciate it. All right.
And of course, it wouldn't be a show without Umberto popping in to say hello, TRC team.
What's
Thank
up,
you.
Umberto? How are you, man?
And then this is just me telling people to leave their comments. Moving along, we got Joey Belinsky saying, hello, my friends. I'm on time today, and I'm ready to party. I've been loving P&S Full Send lately. Great on tires and plastic fender liners. Just wanted to share.
Smells awesome. It's a
Joey.
great
Choice.
product.
Very good choice.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
And then we've got new name for Franco, the devil's in the detail, saying hello, hello.
What's up, dude?
Followed by saying hello to Joey Belinsky, David Dan All, and David here saying hi as well. So, moving on from the shout-outs, let's get to the questions. I got a bunch of people. Oh, good. David, throwing one out for us.
One, what is the difference between the PNS Reset Clay Scrubber and the Ultra Clay Scrubber?
Mm-hmm.
They're both clay scrubbers.
They're about the same.
Yeah, I mean,
They're exactly the same.
realistically, if you had one versus
One's-
the other, you could do the job.
Yeah,
One-
do you like
one's
the,
red
do
and
you like
one's
the
just
color?
the same.
Do you
Yeah,
like the red
and then
better?
you're eventually going to ask another question.
Yeah, because inevitably this leads to more.
What's the difference between the KCX clay scrubber?
Well, But first, we have David Boyce.
Oh, anyway, yeah, sorry, I'll get to that. Yeah, later. Afternoon, good people. Christy and Berto. Okay, everybody's saying hi.
Everybody saying hi. Followed by David's second question.
What is the difference between the big red sponge and the ultra black sponge besides the color and the shape? So the big red sponge and the ultra black sponge is foam and the shape. The black foam is a softer foam than the red. The red needed to be soaked for a couple days
Little seasoning.
prior to being used. The black foam does not need to be soaked. It's ready right out of the package.
Yep.
The black foam, you have the capacity to use it with soap and water, where the red foam, you do not use it with soap. It's really only designed for rinseless. But I would also suggest the Ultra Safe Sponge, the USS, as in a Battleship Gray. It is even softer than the Ultra Black Sponge, but just as sturdy, just as durable, and that is designed for both rinseless and soap as well. It's also cheaper.
Yeah.
So
big shout out to that one. We love that thing. Then we got Alex Dewar here, Anthony.
Hope everyone's doing well. Love you all. We'll catch this one later. Side note, Anthony wasn't wrong. The TRD4 runner wheels are some of the worst I've ever worked on. My goodness. Oh, they suck, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally the worst powder coat they could ever
Dude,
put on a wheel.
it's
No,
not even.
it's
I don't even know. I don't know if it's
off-road
powder coat, but
wheels,
if it is,
like-
it's like the worst. You're
That's
right,
what
it
I'm
is
saying.
the
It's
worst
like
powder
the worst
coat.
powder coat.
It's like the cheapest, most porous powder coat they could ever put on it, and honestly, they just suck to clean.
It feels like Plastidip would be better.
My
Wow.
wife's wheels. That's another car that I haven't even touched in
You
long
got a
time,
4Runner in the
and
driveway.
I don't.
You don't want it
Yeah,
though.
I need to fix that whole car. But I mean, it's the wheels are just horrible. I mean, yeah. Sorry to everybody that has the TRD 4Runner wheels. I mean, those buy something else. You know what I mean? They're overdone anyways. I mean, you don't need those wheels.
It's tired. Move on. All right, we got Anna Longfield saying Toyota matte wheels suck.
Yep.
Yep.
And she says that's why she changes hers. I almost said mine, but she's the one saying it. So, next up here, I've got Breakfast Lover. Do you suggest washing the no-soak applicators before using them to apply a coating?
No, you can usually just blast them off with a little air if you want, but you don't have to do anything with them. Right out of the package, they're ready to rock.
Easy
Pearls
peasy.
are pretty easy to do that with. That's why we've made all the no soaks in a pearl weave and things like that.
It's the most friendly for that
Yeah.
kind of use. Then we got Anna asking, what's that, Anthony?
What's everyone's favorite nav screen / GPS cleaner? Looking for something to use on boat touchscreen GPS. Dude, I use diluted O&R.
Yeah.
Distilled water, 256 to 1. I've never, ever had an issue with that.
I would say that's probably your best bet, 100%.
It's safe. It's safe. There's literally nothing bad that can happen. And, yeah, I mean, a touchscreen, anything touchscreen, it's going to get touched all the time. It is going to get oils on it. If you have to, if you find like there's a lot of oil buildup and you can use a really diluted interior cleaner, something super simple like Express, and you can go over it first. But then I would follow up with something like just diluted O&R just to remove any of the residual sudsy residue.
Well, depending on how new or old a vehicle is with a given nav screen, GPS, infotainment, all that stuff, some of them have like a little
laminate.
bit of a laminate over the top of them, just from the factory. It's the way the screen's designed, and you have to kind of like push
It's like an
through it.
anti-glare coating.
Yeah, and like even ATMs have that sometimes, that kind of thing. Others are like really old. If you get like the CRT tube one where like it's the Buick Reatta or something, yeah, those ones. Anyway, there's different kinds, so just be aware of that too, and try not to scratch them up too much.
Future Dane car right there.
Yeah, I used to like those. I'll admit.
I find the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Trofeo is a
The
far
Trofeo
better
is
looking
nice.
car than the Reatta.
I was actually a fan of the last gen Buick Rivieras with the supercharged. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's got the 3800 Series 2 in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good engine. Anyway, Anna here. Always wash your microfiber first. Generally speaking, yes,
Yeah.
we like to recommend that for any and all towels we can. There are exceptions, of course, but it's usually just kind of covering your bases sort of move. It just ensures that you're going to have the
But that's
best
one of the great
possible
things about the
experience.
Rip and Rag Ultra XL is it's a pearl weave, so you don't have to wash it first.
Yeah.
You can use it right out of the box.
Shorter, tighter nap, you can get away with more.
So
There we go. David. What's David saying, Anthony?
How much force can I use on a sponge to remove dirt that sticks after a pre-treat? I use a bit of force when my sponge was starting to have small tears. I now use a Bug Scrubber 365 towel.
Bug scrubbers are probably your best bet for that purpose. But you shouldn't have to scrub that hard.
You shouldn't be scrubbing that hard. I mean, I guess it all depends on how built up it is, but a Bug Scrubber would be great for that purpose. I don't. It sounds like you're doing everything right. Or 365 is totally fine as well. Just be mindful, right? I mean, just be mindful of how much pressure you're putting and making sure that there's no major contaminants on the surface to where anything might be getting caught up and causing any scratching. So, yeah, do what feels right. Do what feels right. Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Dino popping in to say hey to everybody.
What's up,
right
Dino?
back at you, Dino. And I'm going off the included directions. Yes, Anna, that is generally what we recommend.
Yeah, we always do. We always tell people to do that. But like an applicator, pearl applicators, you don't need to. Ultra XLs and pearl weaves, pretty good to go right out of the bag.
Yeah, depending on what you're going to be applying.
Yeah.
They may
Everything
only be
else,
used
we
once.
usually do recommend making sure that you wash.
Then we've got a response from Joey to Anna with a suggestion from him.
I clean my TVs with Absolute 64-1 on FTW. Also works great for what you're looking
Yep, that's
for.
totally works
Yeah.
too. Totally,
certainly do
totally
that.
fine.
Yeah,
Then,
but you don't even need to go 60. You can still do it with 256-1.
Yeah, and Devil's in the detail here saying, if you're worried about dye transfer, I don't think it's ever been an issue with the no-soak applicators.
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge. Then we got some hellos and thank yous, and David Boyce here with his own input on screen cleaning.
For screen cleaning, interior lately, Phoenix Typhoon? Is it Typhoon?
I was to say, is that a typo
has
and it
been
means
getting
typhoon?
it done. David Boyes, I appreciate. What I like about David, he's always trying
Something new.
new things.
Yeah.
He's always trying something new.
Like that.
I dig that, and I admire that many of you guys are trying a lot of these new brands. I want to get back to trying and buying and.
Well, I mean,
I
all
was
said.
about to say go to dying or lying, but I don't want.
No,
I don't want to
no,
go
no.
down that path. But I do want to. Yeah, I do want to go trying buying some new stuff as well. And but with that said, we do have a couple tricks up our sleeve here at TRC.
in
I can't
process. We can't
say much else right now,
but
Dane,
just
but I mean,
know that there's
just
always
know
something
we're
happening.
staying relevant.
Yeah,
we
we're
see-
not behind the
We
times.
see you guys. We know what you're doing, and we know what you want.
Yeah. Now, I've got Dino here asking the important questions, wanting to know, hey, Levi, I wanted to ask, are you guys coming to this
I
year's
will be there.
Automechanika?
I will be there.
So, for those who don't know what Automechanika is, can you kind of get them up to speed on that?
Automechanika is taking place this year in Frankfurt, Germany. It's a 5-day trade show, all things automotive, and I will be there in the Rag Company Europe booth. We've got a dual booth built where it's going to be a Rag Company PNS booth. So myself, Josh Petro, the John Green, and our new CMO Shane Vaughn is going to be with me. So the four of us are going to be working the Rag Company booth along with Patrick, Dylan, and Patrick's son, Quentin, I believe, is going to be there. And then also we're going to have Leonard Vermeil.
Right.
So Vermeil is going to be
Love
there
that.
with his dad as well. So they're
Super
going to be
cool.
working the
That's
booth.
cool.
Also, so if you want to meet Vermeil,
There's gonna be famous people.
you want
There you
to
go.
come hang out
That's-
with me. If you want to come hang out with Alan Medcraft, we're all going to be in the booth, working that booth. And then, fun fact, other side of the booth,
Yeah.
the front half, KCX color locks. You're going to have Dirk Dew, you're going to have Lars, you're going to have
Okay.
some of the gang from Coach Kemi, the Germans.
We love the whole
So
gang. They're great.
we're it should be a pretty good rowdy bunch hanging out with us. Brian Guy's going to come up.
Excellent.
And yeah, we'll have Bodo and Lars and it's just I'm really looking forward to this event, and
That's pretty soon, too.
I've always had a good time the last time we did it 2 years ago, and it's just such a fun kind of group team building exercise, so to speak, because we walk every morning together. We're all staying at the same hotel. We're all it's just a good time. So I'm excited to hang out with these guys. So yeah, Dino, if you can come on down and see us, man. It'll
Say
be
hi.
fun. We're on the website right now, so if you go to Automechanika 2024 in the Messe Frankfurt building, I think you just type in Automechanika 24, it'll pull it up, and you can search for the the floor plan, and it'll show you everything and who's all going to be there. I was talking to Eric Joseph. He's not sure yet, but he might be there with Dry Ice Energy. Yeah, so we're excited. We should have a good. I know the Lake Country Crew is going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Flex is going to be there again. Scan Grip, tons of different brands. A lot of detailing brands are going to be there. 3D, PNS,
The usual suspects.
KCX, Sonax. Yeah, we're gonna. Well, it'll be a good group. I'm really excited. So we're gonna have some fun. So I'm excited to see everybody. So please swing on over.
All right. And then we got, whoa, Anthony is alive and
I'm
sitting.
just as surprised as you are, Anna. I mean, I still wake up
Shad Stoker's also
every
coming.
day.
Oh,
President of the
that's cool.
IDA.
Yeah.
He'll be there with us as well.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of IDA stuff there.
Rick Smith with a new picture.
Let's go.
What was I going to say? So actually, what's really cool is there's two people in this room right now. They're going to Germany this year.
It's you and me, buddy.
It's not me and you.
Oh, what?
It's not me and you.
But I'm not there either.
Dane, you are going to Germany.
What?
You're going for a different trip.
Oh, that's different.
that's
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm going separate from that trip.
Dane,
by a little bit.
I'm very excited about that. I'm sure that we'll talk about it more in the future, but my friend Dane,
Man.
co-host of the Right Country Podcast, will be attending
Oh boy.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And I am so excited for you, Dane, because he's going to the one in Munich. He's
Should be a good time.
He's going to a good one, and I'm really hoping that many of you listening and watching this
Make your way to
will
Munich.
make your way to Munich and find
Oh, no.
Dane.
Just find me in the tent
him,
there.
Find
So,
him and
can-
buy
can
him
we
a
get you
drink.
to Put up your location.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
You can do it on
Dane-
Facebook. You can put it
Oh,
for your
man.
friends
So
only.
the Hofbräu tent is like, I think that's like where like a lot of the Americans go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's different tents that you can go. What I need somebody to do is capture Dane, take him on some of these German rides that are unregulated.
Oh, no.
Because they are unregulated. They remove like speed regulators and things like
Oh,
that. So
dear.
some of the rides I went on Oktoberfest, I go, this wouldn't be legal.
Did you go on
in
the
the US.
merry-go-round?
It wasn't the merry-go-round. It was like some type of like a
zipper or
slingshotty
something?
zipper. Like it was,
Oh.
and I just remember being like, no way. Like they would not do this in the like you couldn't do this. Like people would be so like you get hurt or like super sick. And then I
Like there's
remember
cash exchanged and people looking the other way.
then my wife, she wanted me to go up on the what's it called,
Little sus.
the swings.
Mm-hmm.
They go up super high. Never, dude. That was the highest. I was the highest I've ever been
Oh,
on
that
any ride
sounds
ever.
yikes.
I hated it. I
Yeah,
hated
it's the
it
big one with the long
so-
chains where it just spins
Oh,
around
yeah,
and around.
yeah,
and there was like the in Munich they have a statue of the woman of I can't remember which. She's some type of significant figure in that park area where the Oktoberfest is.
Like a folklore thing.
Maybe
Or
it's
an
like
actual
maybe it's like
figure.
a folklore thing. I'm not really sure, but that and then all the Clydesdale horses and all the different beer, all the different beer horses. But all I'm saying is, show up to Oktoberfest, find Dane, take a
You gonna
photo.
loan him your lederhosen?
Yeah, I will load Dane my
Oh,
lederhosen.
dear.
Find Dane, post a photo of him, and I will send you out a premium microfiber pack of some sort.
Man.
That would be so funny,
Oh,
dude.
no. And on that note, Tamara here saying hello. Welcome,
Hey, hey.
Tamara. Sorry, I don't have Lucas on this one. I know you're a big fan of Lucas, but I'm sure he'll be around when these guys are out and about. And then I've got page 4. Oh. Good afternoon from Miami. Anthony, you look uncomfortable today, says Josh McKay.
Josh.
You are a very astute observer.
Yeah, dude, today's just a sore day. It's just a sore
Yeah, you've been
muscle
putting in some
leg
steps.
day. I've put in a lot of steps and I've been putting a lot of standing time lately. So it's just a sore day. I'm hoping, next week it'll probably get better. The week after it'll get better. But yeah, today is just a
Work in progress.
work in progress. Speaking of which, I will be standing here momentarily for just a moment and then coming back.
All right. Then I've got Anna Longfield saying, gonna try some absolute 256 to 1. Then, if that's not enough, going to jump to 64 to 1.
There you go. You should be
Okay.
good. Should be fine.
Should be all right. Then we've got a question from Anna here. What do they use on show planes like the Blue Angels?
Great question. I don't know the answer to that, but what I would say is if you're interested in becoming an aviation detailer, you can reach out to the ADA, the Aviation Detailing Association. They're hosting classes and events all over the country, and you'd probably be able to find someone that actually does that. They'd be able to help you out, or at least tell you that answer that question. But yeah, the Aviation Detailing Association, no affiliation with the IDA, but all of the IDA members that are looking to get aviation certified or get into that, we have been recommending they meet up with the Aviation Detailing Association, because you can get a membership with them. You can take a class. They've been hosting classes in Denver at Rupes. They've been hosting classes in Texas. They're hosting classes all over the country. The folks that are taking them are learning quite a bit, because you're learning from aviation mechanics and aviation detailers, professional detailers.
Nice. It does sound like
that's what they
growing.
specialize in. And many of the detailers that are in charge of the ADA are ex-military mechanics and have been in the Air Force or in the Navy, and they're the ones that are teaching the classes.
A lot of experience.
Yeah,
then.
tons of experience in just aviation, which is what we're looking for. So
Anything with the ADA abbreviation is usually pretty good, right?
that's right.
Americans
say
with
that.
Disabilities Act, right?
That's a good thing.
The Aviation Detailing Association.
There you go.
The All Day Anthony channel.
Yeah.
I thought-
Yeah.
Well, ADA spec.
Moving along, Anthony, what is Lucas Hudnick here saying?
Hello, everybody. 10 p.m. here in Slovakia. Finally, a bit of fresh breeze outside, and time to enjoy my favorite show.
Oh, thank you, Lucas.
Thanks, man.
Very nice, thank you. Devil's in the detail. They use angel wax. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would actually be funny.
Not actually, but in the case of that, good joke. We've got Neil here. Neil is saying Matt's going to make everyone at TRC do CrossFit. You know, it's funny you mentioned that.
We literally, Anthony was talking to him today, and he said he found a CrossFit gym near the
Because of course
Airbnb
he
that
did.
they're going to be at, so he can do CrossFit every morning. So
Oh, man.
Hey,
just
cool.
guaranteed.
yeah,
Then we've got, Rick Smith. We need a video of Uncle Matty
be
smashing
patient.
the hex lights.
Be patient, Rick.
There will be something done. Don't worry, guys. We've heard you loud and clear for the last how many months since
We've been
talked about
working
it.
on it. We've been working on it.
I swear people are obsessed. You CrossFit. Yeah, well, you know, it's an acquired taste for some, that's for sure. Next up, I got Aaron Top 10 Bauer. I hope EC is there for the OG meet and greet and need someone to record that interaction. I'm sure that would
He's
go
only a few hours
wonderfully.
away.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far away. The Pokemon Snorlax is my personal trainer. I
There you
feel
go.
that. I get that. Next up, Dino.
Yeah, just answered my question in an intro talk. Haha. I'm trying to plan out coming to Frankfurt. Do you guys stay till Saturday or Friday? We are flying out, I believe, Saturday morning.
Okay.
Show goes till Saturday, I think. So I think we leave Sunday morning, because it is a show starts Tuesday, goes to Saturday. So we are still there on Saturday, and then we close the show out, pack up, go to dinner, and then we fly out early Sunday morning, I believe is how it is.
Okay.
So we'll fly out Sunday, land Monday morning, head to the hall, set up our booth, go to dinner. Tuesday morning, start the show. Tuesday to Saturday, end the show Saturday, fly out Sunday morning. So Sunday to Sunday is what my plan is, Dino. So I'll still be there Saturday
That's good.
and Friday.
Rick Smith here with a question for Anthony, or rather a comment. I want to see Anthony cleaning wheels with my new Ultra Wheel Brush.
Oh, that's a good one. There you go.
New Ultra Wheel cleaning
That's
wheels.
right.
What's his new Ultra Wheel brush?
Well, maybe he bought it, and he just wants you to use his for some reason.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
That's certainly an option. Lars here
Hey,
saying hello from
Lars.
Germany. Hello, Lars.
Lars,
nice
we
to
miss
see
you,
sir.
man.
Then we got out here Super Auto saying afternoon, guys. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, I had a good little catch up with Lars at lunch.
Nice.
And we just caught up on the days and weeks events, and then we've got
Good.
a meeting to discuss Automechanika. So
Kind of
on
important. It's
on
coming up
Monday.
fast.
So
All right. Anthony, get a cart to put your buckets in, says David Cervantes.
We'll just get a couple more buckets to put the buckets on top of.
Not a bad idea.
I think it's just the picking up of the buckets, but yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Anthony,
David, if you could come and lift the buckets for him, that's
you
what
could
we
do that for me. That'd be awesome. And then you could just leave after. You don't have to hang out. I can dump him out. Anthony needs bucket valet, like English butler style. You all rinseless wash, sir. That would be wonderful. And it was especially if it was warm rinseless wash, right?
Ooh, luxurious.
You know what I mean?
How do we do that? Can we get Seabass to hold a bucket for you?
I think so.
I think it's
$20. I think he'd probably do that.
Yeah.
water, sir.
That's a good idea.
And then I've got Super Auto here, whose idea was the retro Miller High Life TRC logo. It's
That was
cool.
Nate Schrum.
Nate did an
Super
awesome
cool.
job
Next day,
with
Nate.
those.
That
was whole Father's Day
One of
thing.
my favorite designs. I'm still trying to fall in love with this shirt. I don't know why
Yeah,
this.
I haven't worn mine yet.
So my collar does this weird thing on this shirt that my other ones don't do, and I don't know why.
What brand did we go with for these?
These are like a comfort
This is
colors or
comfort,
whatever.
not
Comfort
comfort. No, it's
colors?
not comfort colors.
No?
This is American Apparel, or not American Apparel. Why can't
It's
I
not
think
a next
Why
level.
can't I? No, it's not a next level. Why can't I think of the dang?
Oh, well, if it comes to you later,
Anyways,
we'll
yeah,
go over
I was
it.
about to say life in color. That's not true. It's I don't
Color
know,
life.
but
It's a very soft shirt.
this one, yeah, I don't know why my color is doing something weird on it, but
Getting the
this
bacon
it
back.
might have gotten a weird one. No idea, but it's a cool shirt. I really
Well,
like it.
and the other part of that package was my personal favorite, the GM Goodwrench style hat. That was such a cool hat. Oh, man, it was like my childhood all over again. Love seeing that. All right, Neil here. There's got to be a line of detailing products for people that are handicapped.
That's a good
Now,
idea, Neil.
That's a good idea, although I have to wonder what would you make different about them realistically? I mean, if you're talking about chemicals. If you're talking about other products, then I see the benefit. I was just, initially when I hear products, I immediately think
you know what
chemicals.
we
Yeah,
should do? I know
probably
this,
tools
I know
is-
this sounds horrible.
But this is definitely
No,
more
actually,
of a
this doesn't sound horrible at all. This sounds like just general research. We need to sit in a wheelchair and try to wash a car.
That might come off a little ableist.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna film it. I'm not
But...
gonna.
I thought you were
oh
just
my
like, hey, Timmy, I got a
God.
video
About
idea.
how can
Dane,
we
what's
come up-
wrong with you?
Yeah, how
Oh,
do we
sure,
come up
I'm the
with-
bad guy.
No,
Oh,
I'm
Dane.
saying for research, being like, hey, what are some pain points? Like
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
some things that we can improve on?
What can we get done? What can we? Because remember, we had that car in the other day. We had the car in the GTR.
Dane's
The
like,
guy was in a
This is
wheelchair.
honest comment.
yeah,
But
I
hey,
know.
we had
but-
a customer. He had a GTR over in the other building.
Yep.
He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had it on his
And he
plate
was
too.
looking
like-
at products and
yeah.
figuring out. He's like, "Ooh, these are nice buckets. I like this. I like." He wanted to look at the pressure washer setups over here at MVP. Like, what is he using?
Well,
What's
and I
his
was
setup?
curious. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I was curious if the GTR he had was running off like hand controls at all. Or
Yeah, it
anything
was.
to do the
Yeah,
pedals
he
and
drove
stuff.
it there.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm genuinely curious to wonder like what would be some tools would you need? What would you need to be able to get down to certain areas, and what would be useful?
Yeah, certain kinds of reach tools.
I don't know,
stuff
but
like
Dane
that.
thinks we were going to just try to film
Yeah.
this.
No, literally, I thought,
Jeez.
I'm like, are you suggesting a video right now? Because that
Dane.
seems a little.
Oh my
Premature.
gosh, Dane! I'm not going to be Drake and
really
what's
dodged
it
a
called?
bullet there.
What does this say about our dynamic? That's immediately what I thought he was talking about, though. I'm not the bad guy here.
That was very. It's always sunny in Philadelphia,
yes.
Dane. It was very just straight to assume.
Charlie work. Okay. Devil's in the detail. It was my idea, Super Auto 2K. You're welcome. Oh, hey, whoa, taking credit from Nate. I don't know about that. Detailing Detectives Limited. Whoa, that's
What's
a new
up,
one.
man?
All right.
Craig from Great Britain saying, "Hey guys, hope you're all good over the pond. Appreciate it, Craig.
Thanks,
Thank
Craig.
you, man."
Man.
And then I've got a bunch of people saying hello. We'll move up through there. That was page number 4, I believe. Then we're on to page 3. Okay, we got David Cervantes here.
Anthony, different lines in a back injury, but when I broke my hand, I had to start over. My dominant hand too.
Oh, no.
It still drops things more often, and I have lots of issues with my hand. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see
not
that.
fun.
Hand injury, I don't know injuries are fun, but yeah, I can think especially if you're a dominant hand, that would be frustrating.
Especially if your livelihood comes from working with your hands. That's not a great combo.
Yep.
Neil White here. The devil's in the detail. What? There's a market for it for sure. I'm not making fun of anyone. Oh, no. We weren't thinking of anybody making fun of it. It was just an interesting concept. But Yeah, I mean, there's always an avenue for it. But then again, you heard me. I thought he was coming up with a video idea on the spot, and that clearly
No, but that's a
backfired.
great it is
I
a
was
great
just like,
idea,
that's
though.
going to seem a little...
No, that needs to be an internal thing just for this Q&A where our halftime show actually features a commercial of us rolling out
Oh, boy.
and then Dane just being mortified. Just like, guys,
just like,
please don't do this.
oh, no. Yeah, so anyway, lots of thumbs up. People saying, let's do it. All right. Evo needs to be washed. Yes, Anna, that's right. I
No.
agree. It needs to happen. Then I got Jeff C here. I would love to see Matt wash Anthony's car. I agree, Jeff. Then,
No.
let's see. We got Rick Smith here saying, yes, Uncle Matty's showing Anthony how to
Thank you,
dial
the
in the
Ram.
RAM.
Thank you,
Oh,
Rick.
dear.
His first
Thank
question.
you,
You
Rick.
threw me for a loop. You had me in the first
Can
half.
buy a Raptor?
Agreed.
That's what he's gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, why are you driving this? And I'm like, because we have a rule here at TRC.
What is this
Our
junk?
vehicles have to be over 20 years old.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
We're not
yeah.
allowed to do that.
Jamie the Cleaner saying, woo. Nice to see you, Jamie. Glad to have you in here. And then we got a bunch of people who are excited to see Jamie. Then we got Umberto saying, if you let Matt Mormon wash Anthony's car, he will leave an OG nugget, like Anthony left him nugget from TRC.
Hoping he leaves a wad of cash is what I'm hoping.
That's
he
a fun
leaves.
concept.
Like
you could
a-
sneak something in there the way you did on the E36.
No, you know, Matt's biggest thing is palming somebody a hundo. I mean, I think that's sliding in $100. You know, I mean, underneath one of the floor
I'm
mats
going
would
to
totally be
go
fine.
out on a limb and assume it's not going to work like
Matt
that.
palming people hundos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
not something
he likes
I've
to
seen.
do. I didn't know.
He
that.
absolutely does. You've
Wow.
never heard him say palm a hundo? You've never heard him
No.
say that?
I'm gonna have to ask
So-
him if he wants to
Anyways,
palm
Not
a car.
generally something I think
But
he does.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will be the case or the plan. Yes.
Okay. Super Auto here. Anthony.
Anthony, do some upgrades on the GT Aggressor Pro with me. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
Yeah, you should do some like bike video
Oh my
segments. That
god,
would
if
be
he
interesting.
saw that bike, I don't even know what he would. The thing is I'm proud of it, dude. Like I look at that thing in the garage or in the garage
Yeah.
or in the shed, and I go, I think this bike's awesome. It was like, what was it? Was it $300?
It's like 260 or
It's like
250.
$260, dude.
Yeah.
It was like the best deal ever.
That's the
and
cost of like a part on one of his
Yeah.
bikes.
yes, and I remember.
I sold my fancy bike 2 weeks ago. So
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was jacked on it. So that's where I'm like, I'm cool with it, but Matt's going to see that and go, this is trash. And
This is
But-
janky.
whatever, whatever.
Jamie the Cleaner. Whole lot of hot shed work going on around here. That's
All
right.
Hot
There's
sheds.
a lot happening on the other side of
Jamie,
that wall.
what's you're gonna have to tell us what you're doing in that hot shed.
Yeah.
What's happening? What kind of work is getting
And
done?
what kind of work is getting done, Jay? You've been awfully
Yeah.
quiet lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
kind
know,
of
for being the TRC Grand
mysterious.
Ambassador Showdown winner, Jamie.
Ooh.
Some would call
Ooh.
that a Grand Ambassador of the Year.
Hmm.
It seems like he's indentured to the rag company
I'm
for the
sensing
whole
some
of
judgment.
2024.
No, Dane, just somebody once called me a kingmaker,
Oh.
right? And I'm just wanting to
I
meet
think
with
that was me. I think I said that.
I'm wanting to meet with one of the kings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm wanting to say, hey, how's the kingdom going?
Right.
If you
I mean,
catch my drift,
yeah.
Jamie.
Jamie is clearly a self-made man. I mean,
He
he's
is-
he's fashioned himself something of a.
He's more of a
no,
TRC
I will,
made man,
I will,
I feel.
no, I will
He-
give him
he
that
is
he
an
is
auteur.
self-made, but he has had some TRC tools along the way that have, helped him
Okay.
him
okay.
chisel his path.
I mean, he definitely had a little bit of help
he had
directionally,
he
but
had some TRC shoes with some clips that had spikes on them.
oh,
Clip
clip.
him scramble up there. He had some
He
TRC walking sticks,
Okay.
maybe a TRC headlamp, and some recovery gear
don't even know we
to
made those
traverse
things.
this mountain.
I
that
mean,
he's
perhaps
been
I would say
climbing.
we helped him walk so he could run.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Now
would
we're-
I would
now
go
we're
that
back
far,
to the
yeah.
wheelchair discussion.
No, we are
Why do we have
not.
to teach him how to walk?
We are
man?
not. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Tickle DZ. Recommended clay lube dilution for Kosh. RRW.
128 to 1.
Boom. There you go.
Pretty
Oh,
normal.
clear, yeah. Anton says that Live with Adam in his house will be a good show. Unfortunately, it will be midnight for me.
Oh,
Sorry,
so
Anton.
not to worry, Anton. In case of Adam and the garage thing, I put that out as a premiere. So
Oh,
it's not
premiere,
actually
not a
live.
live.
That is
Yeah.
a premiere. So that is a
Premiere.
video that's been edited. It was already made,
Yeah.
and that's Levi going around
We were
to
at
his car
we were at
condo,
his, condo,
doing
his
a bit
car
of a
condo.
tour. So
Good
yeah,
times too.
that'll be a video you can go back and watch anytime. It's just going to premiere. I wanted people to know that
Yeah.
it was coming, so I had to choose a premiere option.
Yep.
Anyway, moving along. Yes, we got Rick Smith here. Shout out to Hot Shed Action. Okay. That could mean so many things. Neil White. Levi, what's your take on the new Ego pressure washer? Like, not like? I mean,
if
you're
Ego
in a
gives,
video with
if
it.
Ego gives me one for free because of it, I will use the ever living snot out of it.
It's so handy.
It is I think it's a beautiful tool. I love because what things I like about it, it's almost quite like the future of what is capable with the pressure washer. And I'm excited to see what it does to change the way pressure washers are used, or the technology that pressure washer has, that is going to be applied over the course of the next decade to other pressure washers. So it's kind of like when back in the 30 years ago, 40 years ago, Cadillac was the standard of the world.
Sure.
Cadillac would come out with groundbreaking technology in the automotive department that many other companies it would trickle down to.
They put night vision in their big sedan in the 90s.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and in the 2000s, Mercedes S-Class took that became the standard and started creating crazy technology like that
eventually trickled down.
It put a sensor on your face and it could see if you'd nod off and you're falling asleep. My wife's Fusion now has that. Like 18 years later,
or like
my Fusion,
early implementation of radar cruise, stuff like
or
that.
blind spot detection, or all that stuff. So I look at like the technology that the Ego has, and I go, "Oh, this is going to be rad." It is a unique device. I love it. I think it's probably the greatest pressure washer developed. I love everything about it, it's on my want list.
One thing that I would say when I see people in the comments complain, oh, it's like range anxiety with EVs and stuff, where people are like, it needs to go this far. I think they're not really looking accurately at how one would actually use such an item. When it comes to that pressure washer, you're getting an hour's use out of it with just the one battery, if not more, potentially.
Yeah, you can put two 12 amp hour batteries in it, so 24 total amp hours.
That's
out of that battery.
That's
out of that
so
unit.
much. So
no, it's crazy. And so for mobile guys, especially because they've got superchargers, Ego has, so you'll recharge a 6 or a 12 amp hour battery very quickly. You could create a third battery just to have as a backup, and you could work all day with that thing and wash cars.
Point that I was going to get to was I saw some people like, oh, it doesn't come with a corded option or like a hybrid, so I could have a cord. Realistically, after using that generator style
the
Ego thing
generator?
For when the power went out and some other stuff, just looking at how their battery tech works and seeing how much actual use got out of it with like fans and fridges and stuff attached, and then looking at that pressure washer in action, I really do think if you're somebody who, frankly, not everybody can afford to do that right now. I get that. But if you're in a position to be able to afford that and you get a couple extra batteries to go with it, you have a solution you can take virtually anywhere and have actual high pressure, not just like a little measly amount of water. Like, it pushes water hard. So it is really neat to see that making its way into a totally cordless environment. And I think somebody who's willing to make that leap will be so happy they did. The people who kind of, haggle over cords and stuff are maybe kind of missing the point, because it really does work that well with just the batteries.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, that was my 2 cents on that, because I felt like some people were missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah. All right, Johnny Be Good saying, what's up, fellas? Bought a new 2024 vehicle and wanted to know your favorite long-term interior protection products. Well, I would probably recommend if you have leather, Color Lock Top Life as your coating for your leather, or Diamond Protex leather coating. Both are permeable, both are long-lasting, as well as the fact that you can add Color Locks conditioners and sealant over the top of them to keep your leather looking its best. The Diamond Protec interior coating on the plastics and stuff is also great protection, especially in cup holders and door pockets and things like that, so it can provide some ability to resist any dirt and grime and soda and just random stuff that people get in their interior pockets and doors. And then but for just day-to-day cleaning and use, It's brand new. You can get away with just literally rinseless at 256 to 1 in a spray bottle. You can wipe everything down. If you're looking to add a little more protection or a little shine and you're not going to go coating the interior plastics, then I would reach for something like Kosh Chemi's Top Star, or even Swift by PNS as your interior protection.
All right. Then I got Kevin Miser here.
Wish me luck, gents. I will be attempting my first Dr. Color chip repair next week.
Nice.
Got a deep rock chip on my door on the freeway, down to the metal, and 2 inches away from a fully PPF fender.
Oh,
Dang
that's
it.
the most annoying when it's just on the cusp.
Yeah, should have wrapped those doors too. Jeez, what were you thinking, Kevin?
Oh,
But yeah, no, enjoy it. And if you're looking for a video, if you go back in our
so good.
history, we've got a color chip video that Anthony did
On my
Dane's
Volvo.
Volvo. It was a great
That was a
video.
great one, yeah.
So much so that Dr. Color Chip used it as an internal video to teach employees how to do repair.
Turns out you're kind of good at it.
There's some actually great videos on YouTube. Multiple channels.
Not any particular one.
Well, there's a
Featuring-
guy, and your friend All Day Anthony did one
yeah,
too.
it's another 88.
That was another one that they were like, "This is a great one. We're also showing it to our employees."
I don't know, like that one's,
Crazy.
it's got like a low view count, like it's like 700,000 or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. It's very small.
Yeah, he doesn't. There's not a lot of people that have viewed that video.
Okay.
But
okay.
you know, a lot of interaction on it. Though.
Just in case people are
in case you're
missing.
curious.
Yeah, if you just, some people learn better by watching.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got Sound and Gloss. It says, I'm a starting a flan.
Starting a flan. Ooh, delicious.
Flan. I love
Starna
I
flan.
love flan. I'm a Starna fan. After a wash, what is the order of operation for the sprays? Glat, detail spray, glaze, sealant. So realistically, that order is still a lot. I mean, that's a lot of stuff, right? And Glat uses a rinse aid. I think Glat's best used on something where it just needs a little bit of hydrophobic pop to it, to make it easier to dry, right? To make it easier to rinse. But it's not necessarily going to be a long-term protection product or anything like that. The Silky is, again, it's a quick detailer. It can be used as a drying aid. It can be used as a spot cleaner, however you like to use it. The Glaze, though, I mean, the glaze is going to be have some fillers. It's going to have some filling property to it and whatnot. You can top a sealant over the top of the glaze. How well the sealant will stick to the top of the glaze is really kind of up in the air. But in that order there,
I would
you
probably
just
wash and do a seal.
yeah, wash and seal or wash and detail or wash and Glat or wash and glaze.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Pretty
and
much.
you can wash glaze and then detail spray over the top of that, right? Or if you
Yeah.
want to wash, you can wash spray. You can, I
Or
don't
you
know.
can do, let's do this. You can wash it,
Yeah.
then you can glaze,
Yeah.
get the glaze off. Then a week later, when you go to wash it again, you wash it and either you spray sealant on top,
Yeah.
the Parla, or you just spray a little Glat and you keep going.
The tough part is that a glaze, right, which traditionally right now not a lot of people are using. It does fill. I mean, it fills things, right? I mean, it's gonna cover things up. But the sealant can go over the top of a glaze, but a glaze can't necessarily go over the top of a sealant.
Correct.
Because you're gonna have
The
some breakdown.
sealant's
in the
designed to
sealant.
repel. So,
Hopefully that helps.
but
makes
the
sense.
Glat has some of the sealant in it.
Yeah.
So it's just if you put the sealant on, you can then use Glat to reinvigorate it. And then the detail spray is just good for whenever.
It's as
Yeah.
easy as
Not to be
Glat.
confusing or
Yep.
anything. All right. Then I've got, Hans closing, the man with the dragon tattoo himself.
Having the last days of my vacation, hello towel gods. On the route back to home, 9 hours of driving with at least one more touristy stop.
Ooh,
Nice.
boy.
Hans, where'd you go?
Yeah, where did you go? Darren Lee.
Hey, fellas, can I wash, iron, decon, and clay a vehicle one day and come back the next morning to polish and protect? Yeah, totally, dude. That's Darren. That's half the time. That's what I do with details that I get dropped off on a Friday night. I wait till the sun goes down, especially in the heat like it's been. I get the car washed and deconned, and then it's even when it's like 90 out, but it's all shade. I'll pull it in the garage after I finish washing it, dry it off, park it in the garage, blow out all the excess water out of everything, dry it again. Then I close my garage, crank up the AC, crank on my fans, get my get my wind tunnel going, and then shut the door, turn the lights off, and come back in the morning. And then in the morning, I've got a 70-degree garage ready to rock and roll, and it's already 90 and sunny outside. I can just work on doing what I need to in a nice, cool garage.
Nice.
So that's what I do. That's pretty much standard for me on almost every weekend when I do detail. So.
All right, and then Sound and Gloss also wanted to follow up and say, can't wait for the next mystery boxes.
Nice.
Yeah. But still a little ways away until the next ones come, but I mean they will happen again. Darren Lee, I do like that all the time when I work under a carport on concrete.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's Franco saying that.
He also does it the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's doing it in a carport, and he's still getting good results, presumably.
Yeah.
So yeah. There are some who call me Tim. Says.
So, I've been using O&R since it came out. What are some reasons why I might want to try Absolute or Rapid Rinseless? How do they compare?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it boils down to each one's a little different in how they all do about they're all
It's personal preference.
they're
at the
all
end of
really
the day.
similar in the effect of how they work, right? They all do the job of encapsulating and emulsifying material on the surface. They all leave a slick feeling behind. Now, Absolute comes at it in a very different chemical way than O&R does. And then RRW comes at it in a completely different way than either O&R or Absolute. RRW is a little stronger in its cleaning capability on the surface. The surface feels cleaner. Absolute leaves some nice slickness and pairs really well with Beadmaker. It's almost like they have the sames in them, so they really like each other. And then O&R is just the OG. It's been around. It's the first rinseless. Anthony and I have all three at home, and we literally interchange based on the day and how we feel. There are days where Anthony will have a bucket of O&R. I've got a bucket of Absolute. And then the next week we dump our buckets, and Anthony goes, I mixed up some Rapid Rinseless. And I go, oh, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that. And instead I'm like, at the moment, I'm like, well, I got some leftover O&R. I'll put that in instead. Yeah. So it really just depends. All three smell amazing. All three are great. And really it's about the experience. Some people love the smell of Absolute over Rapid. Other people love the smell of Rapid over O&R. Some people just love the smell of O&R. So it really, at the end of the day, all we care about is that we've chosen three extremely productive and high-end rinselesses that work exactly as they're supposed to and don't promise one thing and give you something else. There are a lot of rinselesses on the market that don't do everything. That's why we don't carry them. They don't do the stuff that Anthony and I set forth in our list of what we want a rinseless to do. These three are the only ones that do that, and that's why we carry them. So At the end of the day, you can just be happy with whatever one you bought based on scent, feel, or look. It's because the car's going to be the same regardless.
True. Yep. All right, next up I've got Devil's in the Detail. Just a little light dusting the next day and get right to it. So basically, if he's doing the carport
Yeah,
thing,
and another reason to have a rinseless around, you can just literally wipe down all that dust and get right into it. So.
Then I believe Sound and Gloss, you already asked this, unless I'm missing something.
He did.
Okay. Lucas again.
Guys, I have a PPF on my hood, and it could use a bit of a refresh. Can I polish it with the DA, Rupes Uno Pure, and a white foam? Yeah, you can. Lucas, just be careful around the edges and watch your heat. Even though you're using white foam, you're going to generate a lot of heat. Foam generates a ton of heat, especially on PPF, and you just want to be careful that you don't cause it to delaminate because you could concentrate a lot of... And know that you may not get a lot of scratches out of it.
That's important.
Depends on how old it is.
All right.
Nguyen did a panel impact ratio test on the Ego pressure washer. Boss foam cannon with a blue tip. To get the 256-to-1 rinseless ratio, I filled a foam cannon with 177 milliliters of concentrate and the rest with water. Nice.
Excellent.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't do a foam cannon on it. So
That would definitely change things.
Yeah,
up a
I
little.
just was pulling rinseless out of it. I also been using the first O&R after first ever rinseless quick and easy wash. To me, one is slicker than the other, and RRW is sort of stronger. Both will do fine. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's Umberto saying that. And follow up with Kimchi. Hey guys, how do you keep air in the IK Pro 12? I had to fill it up every 5 minutes.
Check your seals. Make sure everything's tight. You're leaking air.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shouldn't-
5 minutes
yeah.
seems a little. Yeah. And I got Contemplative Rooster.
What is the dilution ratio for reactive shampoo if using an IK foamer? So on the bottle of reactive, it asks you to use about 100 milliliters per 1,000 milliliters. So you are going to have to kind of do that math. Because what's an IK foamer is about, it's a liter, right, Anthony? Just
IK
under that?
Are we talking
So
about
if
like a
what's
Foam
it-
Pro 2?
Like a
If
Foam
you-
Pro
IK
2 vessel.
Well, I'm trying to think of like what you would use in the correct, dilution ratio
Right.
would be in that. So I would probably say like 34 to 1 ish is kind of what I told people. So like however many ounces.
So if you're
of,
putting an ounce of product
you
in,
have like 34 ounces of water, then you're putting like roughly 1 ounce of the shampoo inside there, and depending on the size of the IK, you just double it. I mean, that was like the ratio that we found out like a long time ago when we had the original 1.5s,
Yeah.
and that's what we were throwing in there because it worked so well.
Yeah.
Now that the 2s are out, I mean, you can go a little bit more than that, but realistically though, you're not really going to be putting several ounces. You're going to be putting about an ounce in there, maybe less, and then just really mixing it in well, so it's going to perform well. And yeah, I mean, the idea is to get foam. Make the dilution proper to get the right foam you're looking for, but don't put like 8 ounces into a IK, a small RK
Yeah.
foamer and mix it up and think like, oh, this is gonna work great. It's gonna be so sudsy. At a certain point, it's too
Diminishing
sudsy, and
returns.
it's just a mess.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
And on that note, I believe we've hit
time to
our
go to
mark
break.
for a little bit of break time. Don't worry, guys. We'll be right back after a few quick messages. Take this moment to go get yourself a snack, take a bathroom break, whatever the case, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. See you soon.
Wow.
Hello, and
Georgia
welcome
was,
back.
was a
That was an exciting turn
hard
of events
cut.
there.
Yeah.
We are back here on the second half of Q&A Thursday here on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. And before we do anything else, I want to make sure that you guys click that like button with the thumbs up right below this window. Please do so, and then we can proceed. Give it a minute. Give it a second. Okay, we're good. Now we can move on. Now, I've got a lot of comments and questions here, but was there anything you guys wanted to touch on before we did?
Just a reminder that we have the events page.
Yeah.
You guys can go to theragcompany.com, click on the events page, and you can see what upcoming events we have not only here, but also at our storefront, MVP Detail Supply. So the next two coming up is August 10th, Saturday, meet and greet with Matt Mormon and his team at OG. They're going to be here working on the studio this next week, so we are having a meet and greet on that Saturday. So come by, say hi. And then, of course, Automechanika happening in September. We're going to be in Frankfurt. Myself and John, Josh, and Shane from the Rag Company, we will be there. So come by, hang out. We're going to be at in the TRC Europe booth, so the Rag Company Europe booth, and we'll be with Vermil, one of the TRC Grand Ambassador Showdown winners. So he's going to be working the booth with us, and the whole TRC Europe crew, which you just saw in that video earlier, they're going to be there too. Quentin and Dylan and Patrick, and it's going to be a great time. We're also going to have hang out with the KCX and Color Lock boys because they're going to be on the opposite side, and of course Alan Medcraft in our booth as well with the on the PNS side. So it's going to be fun.
That's right.
Shad's going to be going, which is going to be even cooler. He said he's excited, looking forward to this trip. So
Yeah, that'll be
we're going to have a
cool.
blast. So
All
rock
right.
and roll. Other than that, Dane, I think we can.
All right,
Kick
we'll
it
pop
off
them
into
up on
this.
the screen then. I'll get Anna Longfield fired up here. Let's see.
I'm watching the Blue Angels fly around and practice for Seafair this weekend.
That's right. So that explains why.
Yeah,
She
that's what
wanted
she's
to
just
know
wondering. Had a
what
question.
they use, which makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, they look good.
There's a whole documentary on the Blue Angels on Prime.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that one.
I
yet.
started to watch it. It's really good. It's pretty unique.
Is like Glenn Powell in it or something?
No, it's a documentary.
Okay.
About,
For some reason, I thought I saw him previewing it because of the Top Gun connection and other stuff. and all
no,
that.
no, it's just it's the Blue Angels.
Okay.
It's
Well,
them.
Still check it out. I grew
Kevin,
up watching those.
Yeah, they have a. So fun fact, they have a. What's the big carrier? The big planes, the Hueys, like the. They call it Fat Albert.
Are you talking about the Chinook helicopters, the dual rotors?
No, it's like the C-130s or whatever. The cargo
you're talking
planes.
about like the big one.
But it's
Yeah.
like a Hercules or something.
Okay.
It's a
C5.
It's a monster. Anyway, shows the Blue Angels and how they do, how those pilots can do like attack drops where they have to drop and deploy. And it's like a straight up nosedive, and then they drop and they open the tank, like the bellies, and dump. Stuff starts running out like Fast and Furious style.
Yeah.
Right? And then it has JATO rockets that then take it off. Like it ignites those and it takes off going straight up in the air.
Air show where they demoed something really similar to that.
Crazy, the biggest airplane that they have, and it does that kind of stuff. It's wild.
You forget how gravity and physics in general works when you see something like that happen. It's just too much mass moving too fast in ways it shouldn't move.
Yeah, those pilots are crazy. Like they're awesome. So anyway, it's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Kevin Lorenz just wanted to say thank you for all the videos and help there provided me getting my feet wet and detailing. Recently bought a new car and started on it. Going for a wash weekly already. Kevin, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that you're doing that. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'll tell you, there's nothing bad has ever happened from washing your own car in your driveway.
I love that Kevin's getting into it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's something Anthony and I really enjoy. We love making time for that, and I know that's why Anthony is really excited to get back into that, because that is probably the biggest thing that you've kind of missed.
Dude, it is.
It's just not being able to go out and just wash your car.
It's weird. It's really weird how much therapy like that provides, and like how much you kind of like.
You can organize your thoughts.
Well,
you can kind of think about things. You can plan on stuff, or you can just relax.
Or I mean, either one. I mean, it just. I think it was a consistent part of my life every week, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm washing multiple cars, whatever I'm doing, but for that like time to just not be there, and then you just go, crap, you know what I mean? Like what else? What I need to fill this with another hobby that involves not a lot of doing stuff, and I've already seen everything on Netflix. I've watched every show. Every single show.
The amount of time you spend, I'm pretty sure you just started watching the same thing over
I'm
and
done
over.
watching TV, and and I just started being able to play video games. But I mean, yes, I agree that, God, going weekly washes, enjoy it, dude. Have fun. Yeah.
Now, further details.
If Anthony had to clay his Evo, which clay lube would he use with the Ultra Clay Towel? That's a good question. So that car is, I mean, it's pretty corrected. I mean, there's really no.
Well, there's protection on it right now.
There is. I mean, it's the same.
A lot of
Pro
protection.
coating that's been on there for like 8 years. How
Opticoat-
long has it been?
Opticoat Pro or Opticoat Pro Plus?
Pro Plus has been on there for like 9 years.
Was it the third version, or was
It
it
was the Pro. It was just Pro Plus. It was the second. But which clay lube would I use? So I wouldn't be that picky with a clay lube as long as I had the correct dilution. So, for example, like Absolute at like 128:1 would be amazing. That has plenty of lubricity. I would have no issues using paint gloss. I would have no issues using just traditional O&R. But one thing I will say is that, I would absolutely make sure that clay towel was honed in. I would make sure that I would, honed it in on glass. I would make sure that it was pure. I wanted there to be a close up of my face.
There's no way
pure.
to get around that with you.
But I would make sure it's a new clay towel that it's broken in properly, because I mean there's very low risk with the Ultra Clay Towel, but I wouldn't say there's no risk. it's low risk, but I would make sure to reduce any chance of micromar or anything like that, because I don't want to have to repolish the thing out again. It's Mitsubishi paint. It doesn't have that much paint on it, so I want to avoid that. But that, or I mean, shoot, you can do the old Ivan method, which I test out in so many different ways. I could never mar a surface, which was with the Ultra Clay Towel and Optimum Car Wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, Optimum Car Wax. It just seemed to be a different viscosity than other products they try
It's
and
a
use
different
for it.
viscosity. It has a lot of body, but it glides really well
And it
across
wipes
the
off
top.
easy.
And it wipes off super easy. So basically, you're doing like a clay and wax at the same time of decontaminating, but the wax itself is doing a really good job at providing body and something to that towel to slide around on, or really micromarring isn't really a possibility almost.
Yeah.
What it feels like.
Good one to think about, and easy product to get from us.
Yeah.
Then you got Anna Longfield. Compared to other planes, they're just so shiny.
So they are kept in a, again, if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. It is a really great documentary. But yeah, those planes they keep them nice, and every year they're repainted, and every year they're
okay.
touched up, and they have a ground crew. Each plane has its own ground crew, and that ground crew takes just as good a care of that plane. It's fascinating.
All right,
Fascinating
I'll have to go
documentary.
Home and watch that. That's
Yeah.
cool. Because
So-
I used to go to Seafair all the time. Loved it.
Yeah,
So cool.
Dane, I think you would get a kick out. It's a really good one, and it's a couple different episodes. So
Okay. So it's like
super
broken
cool.
into a few
Yeah.
parts.
So super fun. One of the great things reminds me of was it in Cool Runnings,
Uh-huh.
the movie when they're all sitting in the bathtub
Okay.
and they're turning
Oh yeah, like
with
they're in a bobsled.
when they're doing and he's like turn 1, turn 2, turn, and they're all doing that.
Yeah.
They literally do that every morning at a table when they
Oh,
do their
jeez.
when they do their things. They call out. They literally do their entire radio
the
presentation.
routine.
And they pretend to hold their stick,
Holy.
and then they exactly do what they're supposed to do, so that they learn the muscle memory as well as the vocal, like the cues that they
Well,
all have to do.
When it comes to that level of danger and
They
precision,
do it every day.
your body needs to know what you're doing before your brain does. Like if you're thinking and reacting to stuff, it's too late.
Yeah, they said they dry drill. They call it like a dry drill or whatever. And they do that every day in order
Yeah.
with their team, with the ground crew managers of each plane,
Yeah.
sitting
So
behind
cool.
them, sitting behind the pilot, like at a conference table. It's wild to watch, dude.
That's awesome.
And they have their own lingo.
Dane,
You're gonna get a
can
kick
we
out of it.
get your best Jamaican bobsled team accent?
Absolutely not.
Really? Are you sure?
No.
Do you want?
no,
Can
we're,
we
Speaking
we're
of,
not
if you
doing
guys haven't watched
You know
Cool
what?
Runnings in a
To
while,
be fair,
go watch it.
nobody in this office has a
Fun.
better one than Nate. Nate just sneaks up with that
He
one
does,
every
it's pretty
time.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Demo, glad to hang out with the gang for a bit. Demo, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here, bud.
Joey says, shout out to all those Grand Ambassadors in the chat. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. It might
wait a
just
minute.
be Joey. Dane, how many people do we got in the chat right now?
We had about 50 and change.
Nice. Okay,
so, yeah.
I will take that. So, quick question for people watching right now. Question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had, I'd say, a small drop in viewers on the Q&A.
Yeah.
I would say in general, the views
just in
just seem to be
general.
down on the channel with various stuff.
Just in
Like,
general.
yeah.
And so we don't know. We don't know if it's something in the air. We don't know if it's the fires in Oregon. We don't know if it's
People were saying they weren't getting their notifications.
notifications or whatever it might be. But if there's anything outside of an anomaly, right? If there's anything that you're like, hey, I think maybe this changed on the podcast or maybe this changed on the Q&A.
Yeah.
And because of that, maybe you're not tuning in enough, you're not wanting to tune in. I would say just straight up let us know in the comments.
Send us an email.
because, send us an email. Let us know in the comments. We really are looking for that feedback, and we would like to get the viewership back up to the 70s and 80s like we were tapping into just a couple months ago. But we understand people are busy at summertime, but we do want to continue to get out into more viewers, and we want to continue building the TRC lore, making you laugh, making you cry, and a little bit of maybe putting a tear in your eye,
Yeah.
or two or three. I don't know.
More
And
fun.
on that note, I want you guys to know we'll have, as I mentioned before, a garage tour, which actually got moved to the podcast channel. So you'll see the garage tour of Adam's car condo. That's Adam from Adam's Polishes. He'll be doing a tour on the channel tomorrow. It'll be a premiere, so you'll be able to see it. It is not live, but you'll be able to comment in real time, so it'll be like back and forth, chatting on there. And then actually on Monday, then we'll have the podcast release that we had with him. So that'll be something to look forward to. And that's a really in-depth heavy discussion, like a lot of really good stuff touched on. It's like nearly 2 hours. Like we talked to him for a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of good stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, you want to hear his story, understand the origins. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. So shout out that. But yeah, as Anthony's saying, I do want to know if like there's something where you're like, I'm not feeling it, whatever, and that's why it's changed, then that's one thing. Or if you literally just say, like, I haven't been getting my notifications on time, that's another concern. So we want to hear about it. We want to know. Tell us in the comments below. Also, comment on this video after it's live to let us know if anything's up. So, that's a big one. Next up, I've got... My collar does the same thing on my shirt. Okay, so Joey experiences the same as you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's like a wizard's sleeve.
Hang loose.
It's called a bacon neck.
Hangs loose.
There was a whole marketing
Continue,
campaign
Dane.
against
Like
those.
sleeve of wizard.
What? So
Dane.
you're okay doing that, but you're not okay with the wheelchair video.
No. Geez. No, I was asking you. Now I'm all turned around.
So Silverado, thank you for that. That is the shirt that I brought in. Not the blackout, but the next level apparel. I went when we first started doing T-shirts here at the Rag Company. The first one that we had was that big Gildan, the Detail Hero shirt, and it was a heavier shirt. And so when we went to redo T-shirts, I started looking at all my favorite shirts. I asked Anthony what his favorite shirts were, and we just had next level tees. That was what it was. And so we made a bunch of the first series of shirts, and including like this black 25th anniversary, and a lot of our main shirts are next level apparel. Now, some of our fun, different shirts that we've made, Nate has been testing out different brands, different styles, different fabrics, different colors, based on how he wants to do the design of the shirt. And so that's what we're doing. But the majority regular Rag Company T-shirts will remain that next level because they're so simple. Everybody loves them. They're comfortable. They work. It's great.
And don't worry, we're not, like anybody who's not familiar with our swag, like our merch stuff like that, the shirts, we don't do the Gildan thing like a lot of other places do. We
want you to enjoy it. We want you to wear it.
We put effort into it. Nate works really hard to make these cool designs.
For what it is, these are, this is a very nice shirt.
Yeah.
It's just, it's learning how to do these.
They're actually
colors.
worth what you're paying for them. So you're getting something good.
I don't know
each
what's
time.
going on with this collar, but
Just the collar.
Maybe I'm not. Yeah, maybe I'm not alone. That's the only thing. It's the only complaint I have. Otherwise, I love this shirt. Granted, I'm also wearing 2X shirts still, and I'm probably down to being XL. I probably could just get away with that. But
it's like a little baggy on you.
It's called a pump cover, is what I'm calling it.
A pump
so
cover.
yeah, it's when I'm
you
getting
get a good pump in.
When I'm getting a good pump in.
Oh, okay.
I don't want people to see the gains.
No. Oh. See, my kind of gains are a little different.
No, so we hide the gains.
Mine pumps up this spare tire that I smuggle around.
No, I get it. So
I'm carrying a dually.
Take the pump cover off, and people are impressed, right? Because they go, "I didn't expect that to be under there, right? That's insane. It's crazy, right?"
Oh dear.
And it is what it is. So, anyways, moving on. Next question.
So that one right there, Super Auto is saying, regarding the TRC shirts, just never steer away from whatever brand and style shirt the blackout shirt is. I really do like that particular shirt.
That's the next level. That's what I'm saying.
That's the next level. That's like a lot of our more like closer to our normal TRC stuff.
That's what I said. The fun stuff.
Yeah.
The regular Rag Company style stuff is
generally next level. Yeah.
Then the fancier kind of more holiday themed shirts are usually a kind of different brand that we create
and stuff,
specifically designed to work with the design of the shirt. So
really, really good though.
Yeah, Next Level didn't make this type of cream that Nate was looking for.
Yeah. We got Neil White. Dane, so many variables, but wheelchair tools come to mind. Detailing trays that connect to the armrest. Ooh, that's a good one.
Great idea, Neil.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm sure Viper could come up with some stuff. That would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
I don't know what their marketing would look like, and I don't know if it would be...
I don't know if they're the right ones to market.
I don't know if it would be kosher, knowing what they do, but
it could come across looking more like an episode of Jackass. Like, you got to be careful.
An amazing product, though. I know that much. Next up here, we've got...
Oh, this is great. See, Dane was like, bruh, too. In response to the misunderstanding.
What do you guys think we are, monsters? Aaron says, Autofiber mid on a stick is a great tool if you have some mobility issues, but realistically, I'm not wash car at all at that point.
You're not washing
Okay.
a car at all at that
Gotcha,
point.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say I've got a stick with a with a brush on it
Okay.
that I was gonna bring over to Anthony's and help him wash a couple
Well, like
cars.
one of those brushes you see at the car wash.
No, Dane, it's a flag tip nylon. It's a green.
Okay, so it's a safe one.
It's the green, just like our ultra, our not our ultra, but our green body brush.
Yes.
Yep, which is
Uh,
big.
Which
with
nobody
a
believes
lot of
is safe,
those,
but actually is.
with a lot of those, and I have them and I stick it in a bucket. And I got a 5-foot pole, and I
Okay.
can scrub the roofs. I can scrub the whole car. I can
Sure.
wash. I washed Carly's car the other day with it, and I said, "Man, I forgot how easy this is
Save you
washing a
some
car."
time.
It's like you're back in the car wash
I
days.
felt like it was like, dude, it was
Tunnel
muscle.
wash days.
It was muscle memory that I hadn't used in a while.
All you
So-
need a little bit of acid in the air to really take
realistically,
you
yeah.
back.
The breakfast lover, can you make microfiber pants that I can wear on a road trip and give my seats a deep clean at the same
Yes, we
time?
can, but they might be a little hot, man.
Yeah,
You
no,
need to
that's
put a little air freshener.
one thing
or,
you need to
air vented.
understand.
It's the smells too
Yeah.
of that. It might get a little.
Air,
Weird,
What do you need? The air
funky.
conditioned seats.
Have you ever just like you gone to a baseball game and the guy in the mascot costume walks by and you could just smell it?
No.
No.
It gets hot in there.
You smell
that and you're
mascots
just
a
like,
lot?
oh,
Dane, is
oh,
that
no.
something? Do you smell mascots?
That's
a lot?
not
Dane.
great.
Dane's like, I went to the Hawks game this weekend, and
It's a little
Harvey.
iffy.
and they
Harvey
kicked
the Hawk.
kicked me out again because I was smelling the mascot.
It's not my fault.
I
you
didn't go to the
stunk.
smell. The smell came to me.
Yeah.
No, Dane, you're
The
finding
breakfast
it.
lover microfiber onesie. Okay, microfiber onesie if possible. Breakfast lover, I need you to look up a brand. It's from Australia. It's called Bowden's Own.
Oh, I love Bowden's.
We don't need to say anything more than that.
Yeah.
It's one of those. If you know, you know.
Yep.
They've got what you're looking for.
Yep.
Possibly
Agreed.
more than you're looking for. But just know, Bowden's Own. BOWDEN''S Own. The fun detailing brand from Down Under.
There you
Check
go.
it out. Yeah. So what else we got here? Sound and gloss after a Stjarno wash was okay.
Order of operations for the
Yeah.
spray chemicals. I don't know which ones you're talking about. If you're talking about forced, or if you're talking about all the chemicals you already mentioned, sound and gloss.
Yeah.
We already went through and answered your question back at the beginning.
I do feel like we
So,
touched on that one sound.
We did. You need to get Matt to use the TRC rinseless lineup and sway him away from water spot inducing N914. Yeah, we know that, Radio Marmot.
The
Thank you.
N914 folks like that, and they have a hard time changing their minds, and we have a different opinion.
Hey, it's how the sun works.
That's how it
but,
is.
Hey, but you guys want? I just want to point this out here. In 914, it was getting talked about a lot.
It was.
Oh yeah, people were blowing it up.
Oh, people are blowing-
making the
and-
biggest deal out of it.
Well, Dang, don't say that like that. But I mean, it's okay.
I
It
like
is
Nick. I like
it is
McKee's. I
it is
like
a
all this
decent
stuff, but I
product.
feel like the
It
reaction
does-
was a
it
bit
does
much.
technically what it was designed to do. I don't prefer it. I don't really like it that much. Personally, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite rinseless
Yeah.
wash. But it was getting talked about a lot.
And people like the way it cleaned.
And now I'm not seeing it being talked about as much.
Well,
And-
that's because now a bunch of new rinselesses keep popping up,
Yeah.
and now it's just on to
Well,
the next, on to
I
the
don't,
next.
and I don't
on
want it
to
to be
the
a
next.
flavor of the week thing, but I do want, I want the rinselesses that are going to stand out and have a place in this market to be able to.
And I
live
do
on.
feel like there's definitely a place for the ones that become like the standards and they're given like personal preference market, so to speak. And 914 has an audience. They like it,
Yeah.
they know what they want, and that's what they want. Other people, O&R, that's their thing. It's the OG, it's the original, it's awesome. They like that. RRW, new kid on the block, but also people are loving it right out the gate. And in the case of Absolute, some people say, oh, Chunky Monkey, but it's different depending on what you're into, and the people who like it love it. So
Yeah.
it is something that really does come down to personal preference. And you could spend all day arguing with people, but at the end of the day, you're trying to clean your cars, right? So focus on that. All right. Then we got Tamara Chase here.
I have
What's
knee
that?
issues and can't climb a ladder or a step stool. I always have a bad time getting my roof. Yeah. It's a lot of people have that, and that's there's a couple different products. Like we said, the mid on a stick by Autofiber is great. There are wash brushes and brooms and things like that that you can buy that are safe enough, but yeah, it is something that is needing to find that people can get up there and clean that stuff a little easier. So
All right. I got Serrano. Hey, look at that. Serrano's Mobile
what's
here.
up, man?
Are there any future updates to the air tools and keep getting stuck.
So yes, there are some updates coming. Not yet, but in the meantime, a couple things that we have been recommending. One is to make sure you clean the tool. Once the tool's clean, I recommend picking up some Tri-Flow, which is a dry lubricant that you can just add a couple drops. You can pick it up on Amazon. They're tiny little bottles. You only need a couple drops. It's a dry wax lubricant, so it doesn't attract any dust or dirt or anything like that, but it keeps items rotating. Couple drops in there, and that'll help prevent any dirt or sand that gets stuck up into the bearing there, or at least in that little crack, so to speak. The other thing, check your pressure. A lot of people are running it at 90 psi or 100 psi. That tool loves running above 120 to 150. That's really the sweet spot for that tool. And if you're running too low of air pressure, it does have a tendency to get stuck because it just doesn't have enough to rotate that mass. So we are working on we've got a couple of new updates coming, and they're pretty rad. We're pretty excited about them.
The answer is yes.
But yes,
The answer is yes.
there
The answer
are
is yes.
there are updates, but to keep them from getting stuck. In the meantime, clean them. Keep a couple drops of Tri-Flow lubricant in there, and you're good to go.
Yep.
So
Bam.
we Anthony and I had one stall out in front of us, and we literally checked the air pressure, cleaned it out, put a couple drops in, and it was ran the rest of the day. It was awesome. So
It is possible.
yep.
Then I've got a great tip from Super Auto here. Smash that like button. I agree. Hit that thumbs up, please. All right, moving on. We've got Dan Pfeiffer taking on the product yeller role.
Oh,
Simply
thank you,
saying,
Dan.
GSF.
Excellent.
Nice call. And Devil's in the Detail. Tamara, roofs always suck. Well, yeah. Not the most fun to reach.
So I bought that brush. I was excited to use those.
And then we got a little, oh my goodness, it's G. Davis.
Dane didn't mind using a wheelchair to get that 25% off discount at the Bark & Purrs do-it-yourself spin.
I don't even
Gee,
want to know
from the
what the
back.
scenario you're imagining is.
Stand up for that one.
Oh, dear.
I took my wife and I went to Bark & Purr the other day, G. Check it out. Pretty wild place, tell you.
Yeah, it is.
It's
amazing.
Some fancy stuff.
Man, the markup on pets,
Oh, it's
whoever
steep.
shops there is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you can buy everything at PetSmart or on Amazon for way cheaper than that place. I love mom and pops.
Real place.
It's a real place. I love mom and pops, but not at like
It's
150%
bougie mom and
markup of stuff. It was like, whoa.
As somebody who bought a product there one time because I was going to pick up a cat,
He stopped
had to
at
get a
Bark &
cat
Purr before he
carrier.
came to my house.
because
that's
the-
where the Bark &
nowhere,
Purr came
yeah,
from.
nowhere else was open, and I was going to acquire Levi's cat, so I had to come up with a way to transport it that
transporter
wasn't just going to
device.
result in it leaping out of my car the second I got home.
Yeah.
So I had to pick up a carrier, and the only place that was open, incidentally, was Bark & Purr, close to where he was, to fit into the time frame I had to do. So yeah, that
No, it's
that
that
worked
place
out
is
that way.
it's a beautiful little store.
I had to pay something like $60 or $70 for something that should probably be 30 or 35.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to be in that place. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
Gee, I did check it out. We went over there. We were getting ice cream next door at Cold Stone and headed over there just to check it out because we hadn't been in. I was like, hey, Bark & Purr, let's go look and
Yeah.
see around. So, but it was funny, Dan. I was looking at some toys and I was
Yeah.
like, and I just pull out my phone and scan the little UPC on
Yeah,
the
and
back,
you're
and it's
like,
like, wait, this is $5 on Amazon with Prime shipping, and this is the same. This is that item, and it's $37.
Yeah, it's not like that item. It is that item.
Yeah, I'm like, did they buy these on Amazon? Throw them back in the
Oh.
thing? Anyway,
Jeez.
Tamara, there's got to be a safe tool to reach roofs. Yeah, so like I said, guys, that green brush that we talked about in our What's in Store
Yeah.
that we were showing that we have over here is a killer, simple, easy, accessible item. The Mid on a Stick by Autofiber, great tool. Oh my gosh, one of our favorites. Ian knocked it out of the park with that
Great
thing.
job.
We are working on the development of a device for getting up higher on RVs and roofs and things, but that is a product that is still in prototype development.
Yeah, it's
we
not.
have,
It's
and,
not
and
happening.
we literally had a meeting
too
about
soon.
it this morning. We're still months and months away. So
At the very least.
at the very
yeah.
least. So don't plan on us bringing out anything anytime soon. So Tamara, get a mitt on a stick.
Is a great choice.
If you're looking, you can order a brush and a pole or at least a brush, and go to your local hardware store and get a mop pole for that if you want to.
Yeah, the pole can be up to you to decide what you want to do in that front. The most important part is just making sure that the brush itself is going to be a safer one for what you're trying to do.
So,
all right. Next up, I've got. There are some who call me Tim.
What's up, dude? Thoughts on using diluted super clean for car interiors? I don't like it. I think it's
overkill.
No, it's overkill.
Right
it is cheap. It is inexpensive, and it is a great beginner's tool. However, it does more damage to interior plastics and carpets and seats because it's too high on the pH scale. It is like, why aren't we just using a wheel cleaner and diluting it to clean interiors? That's how I feel with super clean. So I tend to stay away from it because you don't need a lot. Honestly, a VLB brush and a rinseless wash, or something even like Express, which is very inexpensive and can be diluted 1-to-1. Any, which is another great one, can be diluted 1-to-1, or even Coach Chemi Polestar, which can be diluted up to 10-to-1. You can utilize in a much more inexpensive fashion than something like super clean for car interiors. And the same goes for a lot of people are like, have you tried Fabuloso or LA Awesome? Again, just too strong. Remember, the pH on a lot of those products is extremely high. So that's why when you put it on a wiper stock, it erases all the white paint. That's when you see on Reddit, there are a ton of detailers who get in a car, or somebody buys a car and they look at their gauge cluster and they're like, how is this thing so destroyed,
smeared and
burned?
Scratched? And
it's because the previous detailer used a product like Super Clean, like LA Awesome, and like Fabuloso on the interior with a product that's not designed for that. That is a degreaser that is designed to break down grime and grease and engine stuff. That's what that's for. Heavy dirt on linoleum. Yeah. Like, that's what it's for. It's not designed to be used on Lexans and plastics and things like that.
And there's usually two ways that somebody arrives at using a product like that. Either A, they're starting out and they're just looking for somebody who is vaguely aware of detailing, that kind of thing, goes, oh, I heard somebody use this, you could try this kind of thing. It's like beginner kind of thing. But then the other one is people who assume every detailing product is somehow out there trying to rip them off. And I don't know why you need this specialized product when I can just go get this cheap one off the shelf from the hardware store, not realizing that when you go do that, yes, technically it can work, but if you're not diluting, if you're not doing something to offset some of that strength involved, you are setting yourself up to fry some plastics, to do all kinds of stuff, discoloration, you name it.
VLBs, or even like Auto Fiber Scrub Ninja, those things clean so easy with literally just soap and water. Yeah. You can literally just use car wash soap and water.
I would rather do that.
Scrub. And most car wash soaps, especially like GSF or Pearl even, are a pH neutral soap. So they are very safe, just like using a rinseless. You can just grab one of those in a Scrub Ninja or a VLB, and you can go to town and you can get that entire interior clean.
A detailing product worth its price is going to be made for actual vehicle materials. It's going to be designed with cars, other vehicles in mind, not linoleum floors, not industrial windows,
we used to have guys,
not exposed bare metal in a industrial building, whatever.
I'm sure there's some folks. I got to say this really fast. There were guys that would come by my shop that would be carrying only one bottle of a product,
right? That
they would try and sell me.
It's the
and
everything
they would say
product.
It's 1,000-to-1 dilution.
Oh my God.
And look at this, and they'd spray it on the floor. They'd clean as part of my linoleum floor. Then they'd go out and they'd spray it on a headlight. They'd clean the headlight.
It cleans your shoes too, and then they go and like zap your shoes.
No, and then they go and it's biodegradable and safe, and they'd squirt it in their mouth.
Right? Yeah.
They would go, you can clean everything, and they go around your shop and they leave all these little like clean spots from where they cleaned. And one day I grabbed just rinseless, just O&R. I had it in a spray bottle, and I sprayed all those exact same spots, and I wiped all those same things. And then I was like, "Can I see this?"
You squirt it in your mouth.
Yeah, I didn't squirt it in my mouth, but I could have and been a lot safer.
Don't do that.
But the fact is, like, you check the pH of that product, and I asked the guy if I could, and I had a little pH tester in my shop. it was a 15. And I go, this is a very strong chemical.
And you
no
just
wonder you can
sprayed that
dilute
in
it
your
to
mouth,
1,000 to
dude.
1. This product is already diluted at 256 to 1, and I can do all the same stuff you're doing right now. And once they saw it, like, a lot of them, like, left. But they try to sell you 100 bottles or 50 bottles or buy 20 bottles right now, give them to you for $1 a piece. Like, they didn't have anything. They were going to ship it over to me later.
Yeah.
But it was usually a very caustic, very damaging chemical that is not safe to have around.
Well, yeah, if it's not horrifically caustic or high or super high, super low pH, how is it going to be able to do all those amazing cleaning things?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
so impressed by.
Yeah. No, I was able
and we
to do
just
it with-
ignore any potential
able to
side
do it with
effects that are
rinseless.
down the road.
Yeah, I was able to do everything with rinseless.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We got quite a few going on here, but that's all right. We'll keep
Good
going.
afternoon, crew. And the next up here, we've
Yep.
got.
Oh, that's funny. Asking. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. Bam. Oh, what iPad am I using? This is an old iPad. This one's at
like
least
an iPad 2.
6, 7 years old. It's been around since the days we were messing around with that drone.
it was the first iPad I think we bought.
Do you remember the drone, Dane?
Yeah.
Do you guys know a funny story? We bought like a $6,000 drone.
Okay, it wasn't that much. It was a lot.
No, it was.
No, it
we were
was.
told that much.
$6,000.
Oh my god,
We were
was
told
it?
that it was.
That
Yeah.
much?
We bought.
I thought it was like 3 or 4,
Give
but
me,
No, it was
give
a
me a
six-
confirmation that it was
$6,000.
$6,000.
Oh lord,
Nick, he sold it for almost 5, so he said at least 6,000. So I'm assuming, let's just say 7,500.
For the record, it was a
maybe 8,000.
DJI Inspire 2.
It wasn't Inspired 2, but we had also like the whole battery kit. We had
It
the
had
whole
the
like
cinema
charging
camera package
station,
on it.
and
Yeah, it was a
we
great
had all
one.
this extra stuff, guys.
We used it a couple
We used it
times.
twice.
Maybe.
We used it twice, and yeah, we used it twice, and literally it sat there forever, and that was a hard pill to swallow. But the good news though is that we had three people, or I think 2 or 3 people
Yeah.
got certified to fly
Yeah,
drones.
we had Nick
Yeah.
and Tim and Glenn.
Yeah,
I think a big part of it was, at least for the rest of us, there was an intimidation factor in flying that drone versus somebody just going out with a Mavic
Well,
and
I
like
think
carefree just fly
I mean,
it.
yeah, well, and I think of how affordable drones are now. Like
Yeah.
that could get a lot of the same great footage.
The selling point of the Inspire was that it could fly 60 miles per hour.
I know.
It created so much noise though.
It was so powerful.
We couldn't use it to talk over.
Oh,
No, dude, and it was huge.
it was
It was
big.
like half the size of this room.
Yeah.
No,
together.
it was the size of one of these chairs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it was big.
It was
Yeah.
a good size.
All right, Dane,
Yeah.
next
Anyway,
question.
moving along.
The mitt on the stick is freaking amazing, but it's kind of involved. Just got to set it up, break it
Okay.
down. Once you get used to it, it's not so bad. That's true.
That's all right.
Going to get the ego to spray off the kayaks. Nice.
All right.
There you go, Anna.
Detailing Vibes 2006.
Anthony, how many mitts do you use to wash your Evo or Honda?
Honestly, like the Evo, I do the multi-towel method. I've just always done the multi-towel method on that because but I've had the same towels for that car forever, and they've just never been
You
a
just leave them
problem.
in the bucket.
Leave them
Yeah.
in the bucket. Yeah,
You don't
they
even
wash
wash
them.
'em.
No, I
Yeah,
do
just leave
wash.
These towels really
I
smell.
do wash them
They're
and
stinky.
throw them back in the bin until they see another day. But as far as like the other cars, I mean, I'm straight up, dude. Like one bucket foam cannon.
We started
One
kind of
bucket,
doing just
foam
a
cannon and just in one mitt. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very rarely ever having any issues because, I mean, granted, everything I'm using is all premium. I mean, if everything's premium across the board from my pre-spray to my foam to my mitt, my rinsing, my DI water, and all that, like, there's really very little room for error there, unless I do something horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And I've been able to do that very safely, but. Rinseless is kind of the same thing, one mitt, one bucket. Never really needed to do anything
yeah. We kind of
different.
taught Jack from Stjarnaglas about the one bucket
Oh, yeah.
kind of method with the way we do things, and he started adopting it. He really loves
It works.
rinsing it, spraying some soap, just
Dude,
going
but-
right into a contact wash
yeah,
while the pre
Now,
soap's
any
still
particular soap that you recommend once a week wash?
For a once a week wash, I mean, GSF's awesome for that, just because it's so easy. Pearl's really good for that as well. I think Mata from Stjarnaglas is really good. I think G-Technic G-Wash is great for that. Basically, you just want to avoid anything that's going to have, a higher pH or a lower pH. And you don't necessarily need a wash that's going to have protection built into it every single week, right? I mean, I think that's why GSF is so successful. It's the smell, the viscosity, how well it foams, how slick it feels, how easy it is to use. And I think that's why so many people are drawn to it. And speaking of which, because I haven't been able to wash anything, because I haven't been able to wash anything, I got 2 bottles at GFX. That Christmas foam.
I just killed my first.
Dude, I
just killed my first bottle. I've still got one more, and I'm like, oh, this will last me till the end of the year.
I can't wait. I'm hoping it lasts me till the next drop if there is another one. But I'm like pumped that I still have so much soap left.
Yeah, it's Augie's favorite right now. He's loving the smell of it. Joey
says, all day somebody does amazing rock chip repairs. Check that dude out.
Noted.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he does good work. I don't know what else to say.
That's what
Rick
I hear.
Smith says, I want to see Anthony using the new Easy Style Ultra.
Yeah, he's still waiting for something along those lines.
Oh, yeah, Rick Smith.
Does O&R clean
Everybody
brake
has a
dust? My
dream.
wheels are treated with Defender. Yes, David, it does. Go to my master rinseless wash video. Seriously, go check it out.
Yeah, it's very thorough.
Yeah.
He covers it all.
Is there a shelf life to any of the rinseless that has been pre-made with DI water? Really, no. What happens usually is the colorant will start to fade because it's not
settles.
It's not
almost.
stable.
Maybe there's a sense.
So
it's not stable long term.
Yeah. So O&R color fades. Of the blue tinge disappears, goes back to clear. Absolute will tend to bind back to itself, so you just got to give it a little shake or like a
you swirl it.
You
don't shake it because
yeah.
apparently Dave told me the bubbles are what attract the wrong thing.
Yeah,
you don't want
so
to do
you
that.
swirl the bottle, and so you can just hold the bottle and kind of get it swirling like a little tornado.
You rock it like a baby.
Yep. And then you're ready to rock and roll again. And then with RRW, same kind of thing. It's in the bottle. You can give it a little swirl and spray away. You're good to go. So, Jeff C, getting ready to do some paint touch-ups on my wife's car. Before coating it, there's a 6-inch by 1-inch area of damage on the hood that the previous owner globbed touch-up paint onto.
Oh, so it's just
ouch.
like a big old slurpy stripe.
Ooh, that's a long one.
That is not small.
Thoughts on sanding that down, masking, and spraying with an airbrush? Just want to make it a decent 10-footer. Jeff, I don't even know if I would touch that. I don't know.
There's always the potential to make it worse.
Can you find another hood that's white?
Depending on the vehicle.
Can you do that?
I'm guessing, is this on your
junkyard season's coming?
X5?
Go on out there, find a wrecked rear-ended X5 with a white hood that's in good shape. Take it off, polish it out, coat it.
There's always a
replace the hood. That's what I would do, dude. I'd probably look for one of those.
Might be worth it.
Yeah. G. Davis, I hope TRC produced a sticker to commemorate the Automechanika launch of Anthony and Hans's Closen's line, chloroform-infused beach towels.
I'm just glad I said beach towels and not bleach towels. Jeez.
I love that.
Jeez Davis. All right, Clay Patterson. It would be awesome to, buy a starter kit with Koshemi's core products.
That's a good idea.
We've tried that with a few different brands here and there, such as the Four Norsemen.
That's actually, Clay, I mean, that's a great suggestion. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with
There's
that.
A couple different variations
probably
we can come up
should
with.
do a GSF magic wheel cleaner and
the standards, the ones people use most,
or QS, and maybe throw something else. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Send it to the group. All right. Devil's in the
Clay
detail.
Patterson, I had a spray bottle of distilled water prepped absolute rinseless wash that got lost on the back of a shelf for 5 months, and it works fine. It just lost its scent a bit.
Yeah. There we go.
O&R, you could totally just shake it. It'd be different than Absolute. Absolute gets the rock. O&R gets the shake.
Again, those polymers in there, they sustain pretty well with time.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start dealing with any types of abrasives or anything that has oils or hydrocarbons and those other things like that, there's separation with time. I mean, but that's kind of the beauty of detailing products. I mean, God, dude, you look at stuff that's sat on the shelf for 6, 7, 10 years. I go to my parents' house, right?
Yeah.
Bottles of new finish that literally I grab. I go, oh my God, I can't believe they still have this. I shake it up and I go,
Sometimes,
Still
yeah,
good.
like those waxes.
Still
and stuff
good.
can
You
be
know,
surprising.
separation, but you just got to shake it back up.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got.
Boom.
Dun-dun-dun.
What do you think the chances are of KCX making a fresh up for men?
We've asked multiple
Jeff, you
times,
know that
Jeff.
this has been a struggle with them. That was like a conversation
Maybe
last
a
year.
Manscaped
No, it's
collaboration.
been like three. It's been since
like
it came
3
out.
years. I remember
It's been a fresh
it was
up
like
for
it was
men.
like SEMA 3 years ago, right? When I went
Yeah.
over and I said,
Yeah.
"Hello, my German friends.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a live stream. You
Here's
brought it
here's
up.
an idea," and then they laugh and they go, "Oh, that Anthony from that towel company is so silly."
Yeah. It's very funny.
Oh boy. Spencer B. Hey gang, cheer from hot and steamy Michigan. Hope everything is good,
Thanks,
or
Spencer.
everyone is feeling good, rather.
Glad. Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, thank you. And let's see. Spencer also says, anyone know when KCX will release their new interior scents shown at the last SEMA? I've yet to smell Fresh Up, but the other scents seem pretty good.
Those ones were really good.
Yeah.
We're still
They're
waiting.
great. Anthony was supposed to take that case home.
I
Stuff.
actually
They kept hinting at it, and I'm sure you could have walked over and just said, "I'm taking this."
taking this?
I'll
Justin
be
would have
taking
given
this
it to
now.
you.
I didn't know.
Andrew
what
would have
the-
said, "I'm going to come back and pick it up in a
I
week."
didn't know what the plan was, but I have. That's a great Spencer. I forgot all about the scents, dude. Like honestly,
Yeah.
and they were really good. I mean, some of them were really, really good smelling. And I'd like, shoot,
Yeah, gotta
What
get them.
the heck?
Yeah. All right.
I
Anna
can't believe I
Longfield
let that go.
helping with the C-130
Thank
comment,
you, Anna,
yes, and the Fat Albert.
Yep.
And Berto both mixed together. Then Devil in the Details saying, "Hey TRC, would you recommend using Absolute Moistened Towel to help remove polish residue after polishing? Of
Yes.
course, panel prep afterwards."
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine to
That's
do
how
that.
Anthony and I do it.
Totally. Sound of Gloss. There we go.
I want to plan my detailed products budget. When do you guys do mystery boxes? Mystery boxes, we usually have one probably up here next in Halloween, so end of October. It's probably going to be around October-ish is when our next mystery box plan is.
If it were to
set at the
happen, it's
moment.
more likely to happen then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Robert Clark.
Got a glob of tile mortar on my truck. Didn't notice until it completely dried. Any suggestions for safe removal? Any type of concrete remover that is safe on cars. So there's a couple different options. You're just going to have to kind of Google and see. Maybe see like mortar off of tile mortar or concrete
Some are
remover off
available
of clear. You can pick them up
at like Home Depot,
yeah,
even,
Home Depot
or
or
Ace Hardware
Ace.
or something. You could probably get it. Yeah.
You totally can find stuff like that. The old school method was muriatic acid.
Right. A little less friendly though, huh?
Yeah, there it is. The C-130J Hercules.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew it was a
Getting
couple different names. Yeah.
Nice. And I'm on to page 2. Man, we got a few to go. Let's go.
Let's hurry. I like Anthony's back pillow setup. Been having some lower back pain myself lately and been seeing a chiropractor. Back pain is no joke. Can't even begin to imagine how Anthony felt.
Dude, Spencer
guy.
B.
We got a lot of pillows
is-
in this.
It's because
It
these chairs are so
is,
deep
yeah.
and these guys always complain to me
These
about
are
them.
not comfortable
I
chairs,
worked
as
so
much as they
hard
look
to
like it.
find these to fit the space, and I'm just sad that nobody
Yeah,
likes
no,
them.
yeah, Levi keeps hurting himself in the chairs.
Pulls
I
my
mean,
neck. It like literally yanks my neck out. of
I actually had
alignment.
my neurosurgeon actually come to the TRC office and walk in here and look at the chairs, and he almost fainted. He was like, "You can't be sitting in
Yeah,
these."
Nick
and
is actually sitting in a far more comfortable chair running the show than
Yeah,
Anthony
a
and I
chair
are
that
at
looks
this
like
point.
a gamer streamer setup. It's
Yeah.
the point of this was not to look a particular way. It was made
Yeah,
to
it's
allow
torture.
space to
Hurt
see
us.
behind the chairs.
Yeah,
So I
and
couldn't
it
do high
just-
back.
it
Everyone was like,
just-
"Why do you do high back?" Well, there was a reason.
But
look
no,
so
Spencer, it is absolutely horrible, dude. Take care of yourself. Obviously, get rest. Don't overdo it. And like honestly, the older you get, like it isn't like you think it's just gonna go away or it'll just get better. It just doesn't. So just be careful. David says, not detailing centralized question at all. Was it Gabe or Jimmy that was really into the OG tool organization? I'm wondering what they settled on. The tool grid seems a bit pricey. So Jimmy, actually. Gabe does not care about tool organization.
Drawer organizers was
Gabe
Jimmy.
likes cabinets,
And he likes things hidden.
and he likes things hidden, right? He's like the perfect
People
example.
don't know that I have it. It's even better.
So he's
Like vacuum in the attic.
he's
that
just the
kind of
perfect
thing.
example of like, hey, somebody's coming over, sweep everything under the rug,
Yeah,
and like
throw it
and,
all
like,
in the closet.
As long as it looks really good, then he's happy. He's a happy person.
Like if every
Yeah.
bed could be a Murphy bed.
Jimmy,
he would.
Jimmy is a little bit more simplified.
All
and
furniture could be a Murphy bed.
yeah.
Put all the stuff away.
These chairs fold into the wall.
Jimmy purchased the tool grid setup. I don't know if it was like the $800 version. I don't know which one it was, but like there was some starting kit.
You guys
whatever it
both
was.
went nuts for those little screwdriver setups or whatever. What
Yes.
brand was that?
The Wera.
Wera's, okay,
Wera.
yeah.
So I didn't go the tool grid route at all whatsoever. But because here's the thing, you can spend money on tool organization, right? Which it seems very expensive, or I can just spend money on just good tools.
Right.
And just do a better job of making sure they're organized however
Yeah.
I can do it.
Sure.
And I would rather do that because, I mean, good tools, I mean, those last a lifetime. Organization, I mean, life changes, organization changes, priorities change. You know, I think in 20 years, I'm going to have all this weird organization stuff, and I may not even like cars anymore.
Yeah.
I go, where can I sell these? You know,
Yeah.
whereas a good tool you'll never really want to get rid of. Moving on, next question here. We've got, first from Puerto Rico says, Franco, always better using dampened towel and rinseless to remove polish. Most effective method. No worry. You're Humberto? Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was gonna say I got a little tall toolbox in my garage.
Yeah.
You go through that toolbox and it's pretty well organized.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one drawer is 37 screwdrivers.
Oh,
The
yeah.
next drawer is like 20 pairs of different pliers and things like that. You open another drawer and it's a bunch of different wrenches. But then I have a whole other set that is completely organized. So, but it also just sits on a workbench.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really just what works for you at the end of the day.
Yeah. Now, Anna being very helpful here, telling us I'm not getting notifications. So, yes, I
There we
believe
go.
you were one of
All
the
right.
people who
Thank
was
you.
telling me that, but it's good to confirm.
Yep.
Then I've got Jeff C. here. David Cervantes, I've only got a small toolbox for now, so I'm always trying to maximize space and organization. I've been through every option out there, and nothing compares to Tool Grid.
I think you're right. I think that the tool grid is very, people are very interested in that.
It serves its
for a
purpose,
very
for
good reason.
sure.
I mean, no knock in tool grid, dude. I mean, I think it's good stuff. I think it's really expensive, unfortunately, and I think that if you were, how do I say this? So here's the problem with tool grid. When you're tool gridding something, you are maximizing your horizontal space,
Yeah.
but you are not maximizing your vertical space.
No, you're leaving a lot of space above where the
You're leaving a
stuff
ton of
is
space
organized.
above, right? And to most
In the
people
drawer.
who have enough storage, that's not a problem at all, right? Or for people who are dealing with shallow drawers and shallow cabinets, that's great as well. But there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to have taller cabinets, taller drawers, taller things like that, where you're leaving a lot of open space. So I would say realistically, like if you were like really, set on the tool grid, idea, do tool grid on your topmost drawer. That's the most shallow. That's the most used. That's the most that you're reaching into the most. That somebody may be looking for a tool the most. Then below that, then use different organization options and use maybe different types of inlays or whatever it may be that may make more financial sense. But I know that I used a combination of little organizer things and other random stuff for my drawers, and I'm really like super pumped on because it's, again, I invested into the tools, not into the organization, but I made best do with the organization, and I think it looks really good.
Okay. I still got another page of comments, FYI. So, Anna Longfield here. It's also my busy season, and I usually have to go in early. Okay, also good to know. Because, that was answering people why they weren't necessarily showing up as often as they had been prior. Then I got Umberto here.
Just make sure that using a rinseless has no protection. Labo Cosmetic Hydrosave has protection as well as yellow O&R. Correct. Like those are the ones that actually have stuff in them. Regular O&R, RRW, and Absolute aren't leaving anything behind. That's what's so weird. People go, oh, so there's a polymer on the surface. Well, there's polymers all over the place. Like, you're going to wipe a car down anyway with the panel wipe or the paint prep or whatever you're using to install a ceramic coating. Why is this an issue?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me when people go like, oh, I got to do that. Okay, you're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So,
There we
Peter
go.
says, sorry I missed the past month and a half watching live. Just been busy with work. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. No, that definitely helps. DS here.
I forgot to view sometimes since the main show went away. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I would see, because that was me. You know, when I used to do this and listen to podcasts and things, if a show disappeared for a couple weeks, it got real hard to get back in the habit of doing a Monday to because I used to have appointment listening. When I go to work, this is the show I listen to on Mondays. These are the shows. Tuesdays was these shows. Wednesdays was these shows, and I had it planned out to what shows I listened to on what day, depending on what I was working on that day. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it was like, hey, there's no new podcast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So I'm just listening to my audiobooks. But Thursday and Friday are new episodes of these shows. I'm listening. So not having those all of a sudden throws a wrench into people's listening habits. And us dropping out of the main show on a weekly basis has caused people to possibly step back a little bit because of the fact that now it's not on a regular basis anymore, and so that Tuesday is now an open hole for them.
Now that might be the case. However, as someone who looks at the analytics,
Correct.
I can speak and say it's been over 2 months since we made that change, and one of the things was our views were actually going up on
Correct.
the Q&As. What happened in the drop was actually very recently, in the last couple of weeks, but unfortunately over the last month and a half or so, not only have we had the change in like what shows we're offering and kind of trying new things, we've also run into the problem of, we had the company work party that fell on a Thursday. We had
a lot of
different
stuff.
things that cut into the times where we normally would have a Q&A for you, and it simply wasn't able to happen because of other influence or other events happening during that time period. So it kind of threw things out of whack.
I think it was a perfect storm, Dane, of all of that
help.
stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't help when the days that we'd have to take 2 weeks off of the Q&A, and we were already not doing the main show.
It's hard to be consistent.
And it's just trying to get that wheel, but we've got it back to where we're going, guys. The main show's coming out about every couple weeks, every 3 weeks or so is a new episode, and we're hoping that you enjoy that episode a lot more. We're trying to give you more sustenance, and then we're doing these Q&A Thursdays every Thursday still.
Yeah, they're still
so
here
you guys
every
can
week.
still have your appointment, so
and
to speak.
You may have also noticed with the what's in stores, I was trying to give you a little taste of the store next door, and I thought that'd be a fun way to get people in on something that might happen
appetizer.
regularly
To fill
in
some
the
of
beginning
those.
of the week.
Yeah.
Dane, what would you compare that appetizer to?
What would I compare that appetizer to? I think it's maybe a pig in a blanket, possibly some other kind of hors d'oeuvre, something, it's a little
That's
meaty.
Appetizer.
Like literally,
I
the
was gonna
fact
say, like,
that your
chips
mind
and
went to
salsa.
pig in a blanket. Who thinks of that? Like that's like not even on my top
Delicious.
100.
Well, it's not like I'm
appetizer.
sitting here going
I was thinking
oyster
maybe-
shooters
I
or
was
something.
thinking of some potato skins.
But that's an
or
appetizer.
Yeah,
maybe
but that's
some
kind of
bruschetta.
bougie. Like, I'm
Pig
trying
in
to
a
be...
blanket. When's
Pig in
the
a
last-
blanket. I'm a man of the people.
When's the
Pig in
last
the
time? When's the
blanket.
last time you ordered a pig in a blanket, Dane?
Pretzels.
Same
and
time I went to a
cheese.
Super Bowl party and had Little Smokies.
Pretzel
Yeah,
bowls and
love
cheese.
them.
God.
Joey Belinsky, if we're keeping it real, the TRC viewership will be down by one viewer, me, during the upcoming M&M era. But I love you guys, so I will be back.
It's okay. I know you're
What's-
going to be out the next week.
It's the Mickey
'cause
Mouse era.
He's not such an OG fan.
What's the MM?
Matt Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a fan, so
Yeah.
he's going to be not around.
Joey.
Yeah, that's right.
How much?
Joey there.
How much to get you up here, right? How much is that? What's that Grand Ambassador of the Year prize worth to you?
That's the real question. Peter
Sounds
Brookins,
like
I do
extortion.
appreciate going back to one single view of the three of you.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Peter,
glad to
thank
do
you.
That. Yep.
That's. Do you? So.
Oh, sorry.
So
yeah,
I want to go back to that. So Peter, do you do you mean this view right
I
here?
think he means having everybody in one
Okay.
shot.
Instead of
And
the
that was
three
part
boxes.
of the problem before. The reason at least I didn't care for it was it distorted everybody because you needed such a wide angle lens to capture everybody in this room in such a shallow distance. You guys probably can't tell because you're looking from a screen, but this room at best is maybe 6-7 feet from that wall to that wall, maybe a little
It's
longer,
longer
but
than
yeah,
that,
it's.
Dane.
But the problem is the wall's angled.
Yes.
So if I'm taking it from where the
Yeah, the
ceiling
top's
is above
about
you,
6
if
feet,
we were
the
to draw a
bottom's
straight
about
line
9.
from where the ceiling ends down, you have basically 2-3 feet that's not really usable
Yeah.
because of the angle of the room. The whole thing is just a little wonky. So it limits our ability. We have to get really creative in how we make the camera situation work in here. The other solution is just go shoot it out in the studio. But as you know, we've been constructing a lot of stuff. It hasn't really been happening lately.
Okay, last few questions. Get them done.
Keep her going.
David Cervantes, I'll say it's nice to have the crew of three going again. I just have recently come back from a brief hiatus. I really just missed the tangents that would go on frequently in the podcast and Q&A. Anthony and I, big fan of the tangents. That's what we're all about.
Same.
We love going off, finding these stories and stuff. What we may have to do is create our own podcast called Tangents.
Yeah, we
That's what it's gonna have to
enjoyed
be.
that, but that would have to be bonus content because
Yeah.
literally everybody else including
here
the folks
didn't
who
like it.
pay us to be here every day, they were not such fans of it, just going completely unrelated.
Now, the new podcast feels great, but it feels too structured and forced at times to be serious. Makes sense.
David,
It's a good point.
That's a good point.
We will
then.
take
David,
that into
that's
consideration.
fantastic feedback.
And that's on me because I was basically shifting the whole thing from how unstructured
To
the
a more
other one
structured
was
podcast.
to a structured one because I felt like that's what I was being asked to do. So I made a structured
that's
thing.
Fantastic feedback. That's great. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it though, David. That helps.
G. Davis, shout out from the hot AF Birmingham, Alabama home of Andrew Sports Medicine and the future home of Anthony's Portugal-themed Honda OEM parts outlet.
That would be
Oh, my.
wonderful.
Batman the Caped Crusaders on Prime. Awesome, by the way. I wanted to watch that. I saw it the
Okay.
other night.
Is it a cartoon?
It's a cartoon. They're always the best. It gives me the old Dark Knight, the animated series vibes.
Oh, boy. See, that's classic.
Andy Stilley, glad to say that nowadays the only cars I'm detailing are on my own.
There you go, still.
There you go, Andy.
Phillies, love it, dude.
Good to see you, brother.
Love it, man.
I haul Quickcrete to Home Depot nowadays, and in 1 year hope to be hauling fuel.
All right.
There you go, brother.
Sweet, dude.
Enjoy it. Jeff C., I'm always here anyways, but Facebook notifications don't show up until 24 hours later.
That's interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, I always try and get it a couple days before and then like the day of to see if I miss anybody.
Berta says, Dane the Hound.
All right.
Rick, Dane, you need some BioBomb products for those mascots.
Yeah, right. Just slip it in the neck hole, I guess. Yeah.
The sleeve of wizard.
Not doing that. Jesse, I think DIY stole some N914's thunder. Possibly.
Maybe that
Yeah.
could be it. Yeah.
There's always that possibility.
Sound and Gloss. Oh, more swag option, please. Would love to rep your brand. Thank you, man. We've got a ton of T-shirts available and hats. Check it out. Enjoy it. I think
And
you'll
Nate
like
is
it.
full of ideas. He's
Yeah.
always got cool
We've always
stuff.
got a ton of stuff coming out. Different shirts, different hats, and we're always coming up with new stuff. So,
All right.
We also got sweatshirts. Go to our merch section. I have a microfiber bathrobe I love.
That's a
very
start.
nice.
Still
Yeah.
not a onesie, though. You got to look up Bowden's Own. I'm telling
O&R,
you.
the OG, and still the best. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
Jeff, I like my coatings naked, no toppers. I also don't have to worry about drying on the surface. There you go.
All right.
And then David, Durator, can I use the TRC bug scrubber for interiors, or is a Ninja interior scrubber more advised? The bug scrubber is really designed for exterior cleaner. The Ninja is more described for interior scrubbing.
I'm on the last page now, so don't worry.
Oh my
These
gosh,
are the
Johnny, be
rounding out
good.
the last
Thanks for
ones.
suggestions. My 2024 came with this Silajet brand
Ah.
ceramic coating. Do you guys know if this is a legit coating? Johnny, I don't know a lot about Silajet. I will say if you just do a quick Google search, you could probably find out everything you need to know about it.
Yeah, get some second, third,
Yeah.
fourth, fifth opinions on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gerardo, what do you guys see in the future of detailing chemicals? Maybe a soap that is truly touch-free? It's close. We're very
soap.
close to that for soaps. But I just talked about that with the Ego pressure washer. I think that's going to be a huge addition in some of the Ego products and battery technology. And I mean, even the Ego vacuum with the light infused into the crevice tool and
Yeah.
the ability to turn it up and down with that.
I would like
it's
to
awesome.
get Dave the chemist from PNS to talk about something like that sometime and just
Yeah.
see what his thoughts
Yeah,
on that
that's a
are.
great idea.
We could definitely do a main show interview with him. That
Yeah.
I think would be great for that sort of thing.
All right.
Anton.
Fun hangout, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And all right, the white X5 is mine. Hers is gray metallic. I should keep an eye out in the junk.
Yeah,
cats.
Jeff,
Okay,
that's what I would do. I've
Yeah.
got a fender and a hood on the Suburban that remember we fixed on the live. I never pulled any of the dents out of the fender, and it's bothering me now. And then the hood is a burgundy hood because I couldn't find a pewter one.
Right.
So I'm on the hunt for a pewter hood for my Suburban.
And it's
so
One
not,
day.
it's not impossible.
it's not impossible, but the last time we went, I saw it and I thought, oh, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll get it. And when I came back the next day, someone had taken it off and shoved it underneath on its lid so they could lay on it to pull an engine. And so when I went to pull the hood back out, it was completely scratched and dented. and just destroyed it. And I was so mad at myself that I didn't grab it that
Nothing
day.
would be better though than that day we found the HD hood.
That was the best day.
That was
Holy
cool.
crap.
It was the best day ever.
It looked good
$30
too.
for a $300 hood.
Looked good, just
Yeah.
didn't
Man.
fit quite right.
No, it was perfect. It fit just fine.
Yeah.
No, there was
It
something
had-
weird about the way it sat.
It had been bent a little
It
bit.
looked
Yeah.
good, but there was
no,
something
Dane,
weird going
it
on
was
with the
bent
gap.
on the edges and it vented.
Yeah, it was a vent mod.
So it was a vent
It was-
mod. Is
Oh,
what it was.
that's you
It
justifying
was
it.
rad. No, dude, it ran so much cooler.
That's you rationalizing hard.
That was.
I mean,
that's
temps-
literally
I mean,
what happened.
Levi shared
Anna.
the news on the forums.
I
saying-
talked about it.
We're almost there, guys. We have like 5 more comments.
As someone
guys.
who works with
Anna.
tools in a toolbox, professionally organized tools make the job faster and easier. There you go, Anna. David Cervantes, I have plenty of tools. Honestly, I'm running out of real estate in my new toolbox. I have relatively short drawers in it. Issue is my ratchet and socket drawer. I have an ungodly amount of ratchets.
And shout out to David for sending me an OEM Honda pop clip tool.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Nice.
I got it, like, I think it was like peak pain.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really do much with it. But now that I'm feeling better, I cannot wait to start using that
popping
thing.
doors.
Well, it's got like an OEM part number on it. It's an
You should have-
OEM
You
Honda.
should have Hector sign it.
You actually could.
You should say, I need your autograph on this.
You guys don't know this, but next month, end of next month, Hector, a.k.a. Fast and Furious Hector, right? One of everything,
Yeah.
is showing up
Today,
at
tomorrow, next week.
Yeah,
Holy
you know, you guys work fast, don't you? You
All
know,
right,
you people.
guys, I've still got like 8 comments. I
Anna
gotta get these,
Longfield.
man.
I use tool grids for sockets, plier racks for pliers, plier-like tools, alien space saver wrench organizers. Then I use Tool Technologies ratchet organizer. No one solution works for everything. There you go, Anna. Good job.
we
Anthony, finish out with Hector there.
No, so
What are you gonna say? He's gonna be here.
So he's going to be here at Honda Day Boise, and I cannot wait. Obviously, I'm going to be rolling,
Yeah.
2 Hondas deep, but
man.
I should bring the pop clip tool and have him sign the handle,
Yeah.
and I'll clear it or
Yeah.
something.
How awesome would that be?
Dude,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Peter Brookins, Levi, never thought about it that way, but you're totally right. The main show going away did change my listening
I
habits.
hear that. Yeah.
It's a very subtle thing. A lot of people don't even realize it, but even though you might be a listener and you still catch it, it changes the way you are on the day.
Because it's
Thanks
not the
for-
same frequency, so it does change how you approach
Yeah.
that.
Thanks for being honest, Peter.
Yeah.
Tamara, I watch all you folks do and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanner.
Cocktail Weenies says Superado.
Okay.
Wow, says Joey. Okay, so this is basically, man, Anna
All right.
going on a tear here with a bunch.
I think that's what's happening with me. It's that I can only take in so much content. Joey Matt Mormon isn't my favorite. I watch OG for Mike F content.
Oh, Mike's
Mike will
great,
be
too.
here. Speaking of Fat Albert, he just flew over.
Oh,
there you
look
go.
at that.
Nice. Not that Fat Albert. David Cervantes, have a great weekend, guys. Anthony, if you need me to be the bucket jockey, I will. Just got to pay for my flights to and
Absolutely.
from.
It's an expensive job,
Yeah.
but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
And then Ann landed next to my work.
Cool.
There you go.
Sound of Gloss, Lil Smokies for the win. Agreed. And very last here.
Anthony, there are some tricks to that tool. If the clip isn't coming out, then wiggle it a little. Works wonders.
Okay, well,
Nice.
We
Yeah,
made
appreciate
it,
it.
guys. All right.
did it.
Wow. Great job. Great job to everybody. And thank you to all of you who gave us an input. We appreciate that. Nick, real trooper, stayed in the back room longer so that we could carry on the show because there were so many comments here. So thank you again. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Tomorrow, we got a tour going on, a garage tour, car condo tour with Adam Patali of Adam's Polishes right here on this channel. Look forward to it. It's a premiere. You can go add the notification now. And on Monday, next week, we'll have a new main show episode with Adam Patali going super in depth on his whole story and how he wound up making essentially a detailing empire out of a paper route. So pretty cool. So look forward to that. And guys, take care. Gals, take care. We will see you next week. Take it easy. Detail something. We'll see you.
see it.